Hey everybody, we are live here in Lexington, Kentucky for a show that is the first of its kind. This is Breeding in the Bluegrass. I'm joined by Rachel Miller and Chelsea Stone Stewart to really talk about, where mares are going to, who their babies are going to be by, kind of updates on all the biggest breeding news in the industry.
Yeah, this is so exciting and so fun. First of all, the atmosphere in here is insane. The memorabilia in this room alone is just setting up the vibes of, what future champions could possibly be made. And again, this is kind of the kickoff to the breeding season. So Chelsea and a lot of other great guests for the Resolute team will be talking about where mares are going, who they're going to be bred to, and it's kind of this anticipation. Right now it's all about cooking up the recipe of, okay, some of these phenomenal mares, what stallion are they going to go to? It's like a hard launch of a new relationship. So are you excited to get this kicked off?
We're definitely excited to get this kicked off and kind of go over where our big mares are going, and also to hear from other stallion farms of who they're taking their mares to. And
I know there's some really prolific members of farms in the room here tonight, and we're joined by one right now to kick it off. Chelsea, tell us who we're talking to.
we're talking to Steve from TaylorMade.
Hey there, ladies. It's great to be here in this wonderful, wonderful location, Olives. It's very discreet upon walking in here.
It truly is.
You're right. The buzz in here is cool, and what a great venue. Almost walked right by it. That's how discreet it is.
I know, it's a little camouflage with the Bluegrass cigar bar outside.
Just how you want it.
Exactly.
They call it a speakeasy, which, yeah, I love that. We're just kind of tucked away.
There's a poker table behind us.
Open bar. We've got drinks rolling, and we hope you at home are also grabbing a drink. And we want this to be, since it's kind of the first show we've ever done like this, really conversational. We want to educate everybody on this side of the industry. If you've never even really thought about breeding or what that entails, ask away. No stupid questions exist. I probably have a lot of questions that I have no idea about to ask these people who are so knowledgeable in the industry. So hop in the comments. We'll make sure to ask all of our guests your questions.
Please. So, TaylorMade Farm. You guys have some pretty exciting stuff going on over there at the moment. Namely, a stallion named Not This Time.
Yeah, we are. We're very fortunate to have Not This Time. Everything he's done so far has been off lower stud fees, so lower quality of mare. He started out as a $15,000 stallion, and the horses that are 3-year-olds now were bred, I believe, on a $45,000 stud fee, and then there's $125,000 just turned yearlings that were born. 175 in the belly, and he's standing for $250,000 this year.
Wow.
Incredible.
So that's right up at the top, right, to give people perspective. It's tied for the top stud fee in North America.
Yeah, and he's earned it the hard way. He got a smorgasbord of mares the first year. He was a brilliant 2-year-old. He was lightly raced. He was the favorite for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He was scintillating in his 2 performances at Ellis Park, and he went as the favorite. He came out of that race. He got second to Classic Empire that year. Came out of the race with a little bit of a soft tissue injury, and the decision was made to retire him. But I tell you what, I can tell your listeners is a very cool story about how he got his name.
Please.
He's owned by the Albars, and they own his dam, Miss Macy Sue. We had sold a couple years prior, about 3 years prior, an unbridled song colt for them. He turned out to be Liam's map. And so we sold him for $800,000, and the Albar family were thrilled. Well, then he won the Breeders' Cup Mile and was sold for millions of dollars to Lane's End, and they kind of looked like, well, why did we sell him? So we are a commercial operation. That's, we sell a lot of horses. We sell more horses than anybody in the world at TaylorMade. And so here they came out to the farm, and we showed them the Giant's Causeway, and we said, boy, this colt right here, he's special. We could take him to Saratoga, and he's a 7-figure horse. He'll bring $1 million all day. And Dennis Albar looked at us, and after regretting selling Liam's map, he looked and he said, not this time. Not this time.
Oh, that's so
and
cool.
that's how he got his name.
I love the backstories like that, right? There's so many cool behind the scenes moments, and see, you just don't get that kind of coverage anywhere else.
And we want to know, like, I think horse names are so interesting. We've talked about this on some shows before, like the rules around it. So I want everyone watching, like, there's an 18 character limit max number of letters, and you can't use like I got turned down for Hotwire one time because of hotwire.com. So you can't have like the name of a business as your horse name. But other than that, it's pretty free reign. So definitely tell us what you would name your horse if you had one.
They have a naming, I think they have a naming review board at the Jockey Club, so you're not going to get away with anything too cheeky either.
We just got told that the name request for those watching the Super Bowl, someone requested Bad Bunny a couple days ago, and they had to decline it because it's a public figure.
Well, John just had us to name a Wooten Bassett filly, Wooby. And it did get approved. She's going to be bred this year, but it's
Is
just
that
a funny name.
your favorite horse name you've ever named?
Honestly, I thought it was going to get rejected.
So yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, like, it's the one that I didn't think would materialize. So
There have been a couple. I think naming the horses is fantastic. It's part of the fun, and I love people who don't just take the sire and the dam and combine those two names, but they give a lot of thought, and there's some very clever names out there. But like I said, there's a couple that have slipped through, and when you hear those racetrack announcers calling those horses names, you might make you blush. You think, oh my, how did that get through?
My favorite one that made me blush every time was No More Strippers.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how that could possibly have gotten through.
oh my gosh, that's great.
And I was told it was a PG show.
So obviously, Chelsea Resolute has a history with each of the farms. What's the relationship been like with TaylorMade over the years? Is there any not this times on the ground for you all? Or?
Yeah, so actually, Goodnight Olive, her first foal is a colt by Not This Time, and he's stunning. We adore him, and I know last year when we, broke the news we were going to breed to her, it was before, everything kind of caught on, and everyone's like, what are you doing with your, your big two-time Eclipse champion mare? And we're like, we believe like this horse is going to take off, and sure enough, you can't get on X or Facebook or Instagram without seeing another winner by Not This Time. So
yeah, you were definitely on it and ahead of it, and yeah, we were thrilled when you announced that you were going to breed Olive to Not This Time. It was an exciting day on the farm. I don't know how many people went up to the breeding shed to see her that day.
I know, you all rolled out the red carpet for her when she showed up. So
no,
she was the
great.
first one last year. So she
And we've got
got
some
the royal
footage
treatment.
of her showing now, right after foaling, and then it's adorable.
Yeah, looks like that's a runner, I'd say.
I mean, definitely gonna be a winner. Definitely gonna be the favorite in the first race.
I feel it. It's kind of crazy, right? When you have these mares, and again, Resolute as a farm is very, very unique in that basically every mare is a superstar in her own right.
Yeah.
What's it like having all of those personalities and then the personalities of these babies all on the same farm?
Oh, it's so cool. And, Olive, she has a very strong personality. You know she's a champion, and she definitely makes you pay the treat tax, or you're not going to get your way with her. And we call the baby Ollie because we nickname everything. And he's the same way, spoiled rotten, but we can't help it.
Help it. I mean, so is it peppermints or carrots?
Dimple treats.
Dimple.
It's basically
What
like
is that?
it's basically like a sweet feed treat. John discovered them because he was determined to make the horses love him more than me. So they
gotta
do love the treat.
incentivize that
Yes.
somehow. I think I've seen the same behavior from Not This Time. His nickname is Baby, right? He kind of is a ham. Loves
Yeah,
a treat.
he's very much a ham. There was a video that I had taken when he was about this time of his yearling year. And there was something about him. And on the video, I say, I was talking to Jason Luch, who's the son-in-law and owner-manager of Albar Family Racing. And I told him, I said, here's your Giants Causeway colt out of Miss Macy Sue. And I said, there's something about him. He's just special. And he certainly, he loves visitors and he likes to pose. And You know, I've found over the years that a lot of the good horses, whether it's a broodmare like Olive, a stallion now like Not This Time, but a lot of the good ones, they have something special about them. They're just a little different, whether it's personality-wise or, you know, whether they're ham, like you said, Not This Time, or just the personality that Olive has. You know, you can go back and talk about Zenyatta, and she had that little walk, a hitch in her walk, and, you know, so it is interesting, you know, when you see enough, you kind of think, yeah, that one might be special.
Is there a method to this? This might be my last key question for you. You see a lot of babies, I would assume. Is there a little something that you've witnessed in a youngster that immediately you're like, oh yeah, this horse is something? And you can speak to this too, Chelsea.
I bet Chelsea sees babies on every day. What do you like when you look at what do you like when you see them? What kind of strikes you?
I would say a lot of the foals, you know, sometimes, especially when they're coming out of these big mares, it's almost like they have a chip on their shoulder that they're like, my mom's this, like, my mom's a celebrity. I don't know who your mom is, but they just come out and they instantly have the attitude. And, you know, it's something we realized with when we had Puka, her colt that's now a yearling, or no, he's a 2-year-old now. The second he was born, you know, he was just like, hey, look at me, like, I'm the star of the show. You know, he always had that attitude, like, from
dominant
the second.
ego, the, like, I'm a winner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
Olive's colt, you know, we've seen the same thing.
It's cool. Well,
No, please, Alexa, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we want to do some breeding reveals as well on this show. That's part of it. So I know you guys have a number of mares that are going to tailor-made stallions this year. Do you want to tell us a couple of those?
Yeah, so we're really excited to bring Queen Caroline this year. She's the dam of Forte. We also have Didia, Grade 1 winner, and then Forbidden Nectar, who her half-brother is by Not This Time and just won a big race in Dubai quite impressively. I believe his name is Six Speed.
His name is Six Speed, and he's a 3-year-old colt in Dubai that was recently purchased by American Connections, black type thoroughbreds of Jake Ballas. He ran in the Guineas trial in Dubai. They bought him out of that race. Then he won the 2000 Guineas in Dubai, and he's actually going to run next in the UAE Derby on World Cup evening. And what I like about the mare that Chelsea and John are breeding, Forbidden Nectar, is Six Speed and Forbidden Nectar are out of a Medaglia d'Oro mare. And Not This Time has done real well with Medaglia d'Oro mares, but Forbidden Nectar herself is an Uncle Mo. And so she's by Uncle Mo. There was just recently, the Albars actually owned, and we raised a filly by the name of On Time Girl, who won the Grade 3 Forward Gal stakes at Gulfstream Park, and she's 4 for 5, Grade 3 winner, and she's out of an Uncle Mo mare. So, you know, we're thrilled to be able to breed a mare. It looks like there's crosses that work everywhere. You know, Queen Caroline, a mare by Blame, the dam of champion 2-year-old Forte. It's, you know, anytime you can breed the mother of a champion, it gives you a good shot. And let's not forget Didia, who was a multiple Group 1 winner in her homeland, Argentina. She was a Grade 1 winner at Saratoga, and she too will be visiting Not This Time. So, you know, the relationship that TaylorMade has with Resolute is a wonderful relationship. We're so grateful that they support, you know, Not This Time with quality mares like they have, and you know, we're thankful to be part of their team.
That's amazing. Well, some hard launches of some new relationships to come this season. All very exciting stuff. Did you get through all of them that you needed to? Good?
I'm good.
All right. Well, we want you to be able to enjoy the party. Again, the bar is flowing. That's where everyone is congregated at the moment. Behind us, you guys might be able to see. However, there's also a stunning charcuterie board and appetizer spread, so we want you to be able to enjoy. But thank you so much for helping kick this party off with us.
You're welcome. It's been wonderful. Thank you, Rachel, Alexa, and Chelsea, and enjoy your evening with everybody, and grateful for what you do for racing. America's Best Racing is a wonderful, wonderful product, and what you're doing to bring young people into the game, that's what we need. The demographic, hopefully, that are tuning in today are what we need, and we need to make those people fans, and by giving them content like you're giving them, that's a win-win for everybody, and great job for both of you for doing what you do.
We really appreciate it. And hey, TaylorMade is always a great host. By the way, you can visit them on horse country tours. Go check out some of these stallions for yourself. And for anyone that follows Griffin Johnson, he just spent about 5 days out at TaylorMade. So check out his channels for any content about his visit there. But looked like you guys showed him a great time.
He was wonderful. My 17-year-old daughter Caroline asked why I didn't FaceTime her while he was there. So
yeah, you're in the doghouse.
Yeah, you might be in trouble now, Steve.
I got a picture. I know Griffin. I've met him several times, and so I got a picture with him and sent it to Caroline, and I just got the OMG. And then the phone call, is he still there?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm driving
great.
out right now.
And Griffin's another one. It's just wonderful. I mean, how lucky are we to have people like you, people like Griffin Johnson, that take advantage of the social media, the things that these people a lot younger than me are focused on all the time, Insta, X, and the various TikTok, etc. So thank you, and thanks, Griffin. If you're listening, give a shout out for your time at TaylorMade.
Thank you so much. And TaylorMade also is a big contributor to the industry. One thing recently, something that I don't know if you want to talk about it, we have a video here to show with
of Stable Recovery. So the first female graduate of the program that is now branched out to other farms. So while we change the guests over here, we'll play a little quick video for you of some of the great work that TaylorMade has done with the Stable Recovery program.
Today is a historic day in Stable Recovery and also Spike Coast Farm. We're graduating our first female.
I arrived at Stable Recovery 3 months ago. I have a total of 8 months sober, and today I'll be the first woman to graduate the School of Horsemanship program at Stable Recovery through Spike Coast Farm. I'm really excited for all these opportunities that Stable Recovery is providing me with, and just can't wait to see what the future may hold.
Shahana has been an excellent mentor for the other women coming through the program, and I think this example that she's setting for everyone else is going to give them something to look forward to and know that they can achieve the same goals that she's reached.
I only hear great things about Shahana. She is a leader in the program.
See you there with your children is it's just a miracle, and it's so awesome, and I'm so proud.
And just watching you grow, and you are a leader. And I can't wait to see you in 3 more months.
This is the product of your labor and your hard work and your willingness to try new things to better yourself.
You have been a leader, you've been a sister, you've been a friend.
All right, so the set has transformed. New guest here with us, Adrian Wallace of Coolmore America / Ashford Stud. You might be able to tell, given the merch and the branding.
Would have never guessed.
Never guessed. No. And the accent.
So how's tonight going so far? What do you think of the vibe in here?
I've actually never been here before. And
Really?
so I bought my my kids some bicycles for Christmas. So I was like, surely it's not beside the bicycle shop. So I was walking beside the bicycle shop, and then I see another bicycle shop, and like, can't be in here. And then luckily enough, as I was walking by, Elliot Walden pulls up and said, "Have you ever been to a speakeasy before?" And I was like, "Well, I have," but he said, "It's in there." So I have never been, but delighted to be here. And yeah, it's a great celebration. There's loads of people here, and it's a little bit of the champagne flowing. Obviously, I've had a glass of bourbon, so yeah, ready to talk some horse.
There we go.
Simple enough. This explains, okay, I didn't even think about the context that the bike shop is next door. I do the share my location with my family, and my mom texted me about 10 minutes ago saying, "Are you selling your bike?" Because they had bought me a bike for my birthday a couple years ago. And I was like, why the hell would she ask me that question?
What a stalker moment
I just
for everyone.
put two things together.
That's
I
kinda
mean,
funny.
what can I say? I'm kind of the most important thing in her life. So anyways.
At least don't admit to it anyways, if you are selling it.
Inside context. So obviously a crazy roster of stallions that the public will probably have some familiarity with. As you can see, a Triple Crown winner on the vest here in Justify. American Pharaoh was there for many years. Looks like he's thriving in Japan at
He's
the
doing
moment.
great. They do such a good job with his, keeping. It was a big decision for us to make. It wasn't an easy decision by any means, but it was a decision that we kind of took. That American Pharoah being such an iconic horse, a global horse, a horse that, you know, he broke the curse of the Triple Crown. It hadn't been won in 37, 38 years. And for him to go and do that, and he brought racing back to the forefront of the industry again. And the Japanese have always been massive supporters of him, both buying his yearlings, breeding to him, massive fans of him. And they'd been wanting to try and buy him for many years. And obviously that was something we were never going to do. But they approached us with this concept of doing a lease, and it's worked out well so far. He arrived without a hitch in December, and they've done a great job of keeping all the fans and all the breeders here up to date with him, and keeping us up to date with him. We've sent our own groom with him, Ryan Murta, he's from New Zealand. He was actually in Chile with Jack Christopher last year, and he went home and had a break, and then he relieved the first groom who went out, Omar, who went out with him the first time. So he's going to have his groom with him.
That's great.
For his whole trip. So it's about, you know, it's a financial decision in some ways as well, but also it's about, you know, making the world small, and these horses, you know, they can travel. He's a very healthy young stallion. He's done very well across the world. He's got worldwide presence. And, you know, why not give him an opportunity to become an iconic horse, not only in this country but also in Asia. So we're excited. We're glad that the deal is going so well so far, and, you know, he'll be back very soon.
That's great. Having been in Japan for the Japan Cup last fall, I can say they have such a reverence for their horses over there, and I know that he has so many fans abroad, so I'm sure that he's getting all of the love and adoration over there, and obviously we'll welcome him back. But Chelsea, would love some insights on the Resolute relationship over the years with Ashford. You know, do you guys currently have any babies on the ground? Any Ashford
we have
stallions?
several Justifies on the ground.
And do they look like their dad?
They do.
That's great.
So we have currently yearlings. We have one out of Pink Dogwood, and she was, you know, barely beaten in the, I believe, Epsom Oaks. Is that correct?
Yep.
And then Champagne, she has a gorgeous colt by Justify, and we really like him, and she's the full sister to Found.
Again, the roster is just wild. What does it mean to have a broodmare roster like Resolute has coming to visit some of your stallions?
It's amazing. I mean, these horses are iconic stallions in their own right, but they're only as good as the mares and the breeders you can attract to them. You know, and really, and I say a lot to breeders who come to visit our horses. Really, we put these stallions now in your hands. Once they retire, once they've achieved what they've achieved, they've almost got to go and prove themselves again. And to make a horse relevant, give a horse the best chance at stud, we've got to be able to attract quality mares from the best breeders with the best land. And when you look at farms like Resolute, when you look at farms like Don Alberto, who had a massive day today, I mean, it's year in, year out. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of perseverance and effort. And, you know, you'll have good years, you'll have bad years. But the main thing is to keep doing the simple things as well as you can, and those results then will propagate themselves on the track. But I mean, you know, as I say, to get mares of the likes of the Pink Dogwoods of this world, Touching Beauty, who's...
Can you tell us a little bit about that process, both when, you know, a stallion retires from racing and then, you know, it's got to go somewhere to stand stud, kind of what the process is? Does everybody fighting, putting out bids to, like, get the stallion on their farm? And then the same with the big mares that you want to come see your horses. What goes on behind the scenes to secure that your farm and your operation gets the best?
I mean, it's very competitive. It's a very competitive market. There are 15, give or take, premier stallion stations in central Kentucky, and all of them are competing for the next marquee horse. Now, ideally, you go and breed the horse yourself. You go and you breed a City of Troy, or you breed a Galileo, for example, it's one of the most iconic horses that we've ever had, or a Giant's Causeway, who's a flagship stallion for us for many, many years. But often, as good as your broodmare band may be, as competitive as you may be on the track, you still have to go out to the market to either buy a horse like Sierra Leone as a yearling, which we did at the Saratoga sale 3 years ago. Or else you go and try and buy a horse like a Jack Christopher from the market, or you go and try and buy a Justify after he won the Kentucky Derby. And these horses, or an American Pharaoh like we did as well, it's incredibly competitive. It becomes expensive, but ultimately, when you get a prize stallion like the likes of a Justify or an Uncle Mo, those horses are ones that can really change the breed. They can change the trajectory of a farm. They can massively improve your broodmare band. And sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong, but oftentimes you'll find these horses are, certainly the 3-year-old, late 2-year-old, early 3-year-old colts who are running well in Kentucky Derby preps. They're the horses that are going to attract the attention of all the big farms: TaylorMade, Gainesway, Lane's End, Three Chimneys, ourselves. It gets very, very competitive.
It's kind of a courtship, I'm really into Bridgerton, so that's what I would almost compare it to.
I
the farms are courting.
But I can see what you're saying, yeah.
Do you want to meet at the promenade?
And sometimes it's not about, the offer. Sometimes it's about the opportunities you can give those stallions. So oftentimes, it's worked in some instances where we may have offered more money than another farm, but because of previous relationship or a previous business decision, the client will go to them, or vice versa. Sometimes we can say, listen, come to Coolmore and we can give you our expertise and we can help you get the next Uncle Mo or the next Justify. And
Fierceness is a new one at your
he is indeed, yes, he is indeed. And Son of City of Light, and I see you're pulling up. Wow, that was very well prepared. Son of City. Son of City of Light, iconic horse, Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner, champion 2-year-old, Florida Derby winner by massive margin. He was one of the most impressive horses of his generation, owned by a very flamboyant owner in Mike Rapoli and trained by one of the greatest trainers we've ever seen in Todd Pletcher. So he's a horse that has been very, very popular so far. He's standing his first season at stud along with Sierra Leone and Citizen Bull, and he and Sierra Leone had quite a interesting relationship.
You could say that.
Are they stallmates?
Yeah,
no,
are they neighbors?
We're keeping them apart for the moment.
Oh, okay.
Some tension there.
They were actually when they first arrived. Citizen Bull, Fierceness and Sierra Leone, when they all arrived from the Breeders' Cup, they all went into the same barn together, but now as they've gone out and have now been sort of moved into the herd, so to speak, they're in separate barns. But he's very popular. He's been very well received. Stands his first season for 50,000. He's getting some very, very nice mares. He really was a brilliant racehorse. And we're privileged to stand this year 3 new stallions who are three Eclipse Award winners, 2 Eclipse Award winning 2-year-olds in Fierceness, and of course Citizen Bull, who's an absolute monster and ran such a bang-up race to sign off his career in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, when he was second to Nysos. For the SF team and for Bob Baffert, we're big believers in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and horses having shown form at 2. We think it's very, very important for a future stallion to show that precocity, to show that speed. We think it lends really, really well. And then, of course, Sierra Leone, who's certainly one of, I think he's a fan favourite in many ways. His name, his look, his demeanour, his breeding, his race record, the way he ran his races, he always made it very, very interesting. And I think, and he's a horse that's been incredibly well received, and a horse that we're privileged to have bought at the Saratoga sale. Obviously, we paid a great deal for him, but luckily he repaid the faith that our team showed in him. He was bred by John and Debbie Oxley, who just had a great win today in the Southwest Stakes at Oaklawn. They're sending 2 of their best mares to him as well. So he's attracting a stellar group of mares, including one of the Resolute mares.
Yeah.
the
Touching Beauty.
the ever young Touching Beauty.
Yeah.
The dam of Just a Touch, and she's one of those mares who is tailor-made for him in terms of her pedigree. She's by Tappet, is that correct?
Correct.
So Gunrunner on Tappet is one of the most magic crosses you can find, and she is one of those mares that, she's produced a horse. Unfortunately, Sierra Leone beat her best son in the
Bluegrass.
Sorry to remind you.
We thought we had it, and then Sierra Leone, there he was.
When you
Came from
said
the
Sierra
clouds.
Leone finish races in a very, very interesting way, what Adrian means is incredibly nail-biting, down to the wire every time. Just that deep closing finish that really was thrilling as a fan to get to watch.
I mean, it
and
really
follow.
was. I mean, it was such a great journey, and to be on that journey from his first race to his second race was the Remsen when he finished second to Dornoch.
Yeah.
Then he won the Risen Star, the Bluegrass, and we will never ever forget this Kentucky Derby when we'd Forever Young, Sierra Leone, Mystic Dan. I mean, it was an incredible run.
The photo of that is just insane.
Iconic. And again,
It really
speaking
is.
of the Japanese horse connection, that's kind of
And
cool.
then it comes back around again, and they're related, and it's it
It's
really is
crazy.
it is a fantastic story. And he was one of those horses that you always knew he was coming, but was he going to get there? And I think he's a horse that's going to give breeders so much fun over the next few years because he's so good looking, he's so well bred, and if he can produce horses that look like him and can run like him, then the sky could be the limit.
So Chelsea, I don't know, we should have done a little drum roll sound effect or something, but are there any other mares to hard launch announce that will be visiting?
Yeah, we have 3 other mares going to Justify. We have Tabera. She's currently, we imported her from Europe, and she has
So
an
cool.
impressive 2-year-old running in Europe, so we're really excited.
She's the daughter of Glen Eagles, isn't that right?
Correct.
Yeah. And she had a Zarak 2-year-old win with Andre Fabre
Correct.
last year.
And when we purchased her, she was in foal to Blue Point, so we have that, and then currently she's in foal to, I believe, Complexity.
Yeah.
And then we're just thrilled, to get on Justify's books with her.
I mean, that's a wonderful cross. I mean, if you look down Justify's success
Before you go into that, we have a lot of viewers who probably have no idea what a cross is. Can you tell us what exactly that means?
Oh, wow, that's a hell of a question.
Adrian's going to answer this.
Call upon the ancestral knowledge.
Okay, so you will have in a lot of bloodlines, you'll have certain bloodlines will work very, very well. So certain broodmare lines will work very well with certain stallion lines. Now it's not to say that some have less success, some have more success, and some of them become self-fulfilling prophecies. So you get a good runner from a certain broodmare line, a certain sire line, and then a lot of breeders then will try to replicate that on the off chance that this is the sort of golden ticket. Some are under-tried, some are over-tried, and some people give a lot more credence to it than others. But basically what it means is that certain bloodlines seem to mix and cross very well with certain others. To give you an example, Sadler's Wells and Danehill in Europe was a very, very good, a very successful cross. Gunrunner and Tappet, very, very successful cross. Gunrunner with Tappet mares yields an amazing amount, quite a high level of greatest stakes winners, which is why Touching Beauty is going to I presume, going to Sierra Leone. Breeding a daughter of Tappet to a son of Gunrunner makes sense in terms of pedigree, and obviously the breeders like Resolute will put a lot more thought into that than just the cross. You measure up, does the mare suit the stallion physically? What she's produced so far, will that lend herself to the stallion's strengths? Will she counteract the stallion's weakness? But the cross basically means has it worked before? Can you? And just because you cover a rocket scientist with a nuclear physicist doesn't mean you're going to get something similar.
The human applications.
Yeah, I mean,
the NBA would be stocked right now if people were really reading into the pedigrees, the crosses that we could try and put together. But for anyone who's not familiar, there is a whole science of people basically designing what they think a horse should become or would become because of its breeding and pedigree. And that happens both on the people who own broodmares side and also the stallion farms, it seems like it's a very collaborative process on all fronts.
Yeah, because as I said before, when we retire these stallions to stud, they come in with all the lovely credentials. They're very well bred. They're very, highly accomplished runners. But at the end of the day, if we don't get the right amount of mares to them, the right quality of mares from the right breeders, then those horses are going to struggle. So it's up to us as stallion farms to try and attract the best mares we can. Now, horses like Fierceness, Sierra Leone, Citizen Bull, Justify, those kinds of horses, and Gunrunner, Flightline, those horses will automatically receive some of the best mares possible, given who they're owned by and given how good they were on the track. But it's still something you've got to work out.
Again, I'm coming back to Bridgerton and thinking of, those are the horses that almost have like the Duke or the Viscount title, that all of like the nicest and most wealthy women in the town were like, my daughter should marry the Viscount. It goes both ways. Just in trying to really distill this down. So there you go.
That's what we're aiming
Feel free
for.
to peddle those references around the office.
I'm going to use it again. I'm actually going to bring it in a Bridgerton reference. Yeah.
That'll help.
Well, you got the accent already.
Yeah,
going, so. Well, we really appreciate your time. It's been a pleasure. You've given so much knowledge to me and all of our viewers. So
No problem. Thank you guys for having me, and it's been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Truly. Thanks, Adrian.
Wow.
So much to digest and process. Chelsea, how long did it take you to learn all there is to know? Do you feel like you know all there is to know about the breeding side of things?
No.
Like, how does one get into this, basically?
Lots of research. And I mean, being just a horse racing fan in general, you're seeing who the big runners are by. And then, once you're doing that, you're digging deeper, you're seeing who the mare is by. And then you're just like digging further back to see what crosses, created that winner, and then you're just trying to recreate the magic.
How involved are you in the physical pairing of the horses? Is that something
I
you
would
do?
say I'm very involved. Most of the matings, I kind of, do all of the matings for all the mares, and then we recently acquired a company called Pedigree 360, which is based in Australia, but we've kind of brought it up here, and we have John DeReamer, who's on our team, and he's just like an infinite source of knowledge for our team. And I'm always bouncing ideas off of him. I'll get narrowed down to 3 stallions, and I'm always talking myself out of one. I'm just like, okay, maybe I want this over that cross, and then he's backing it up, with the data, this cross, it's 13 out of 15, they're gonna be a winner. So I mean, I go back and looking at the numbers, and then of course I eventually nail John down and get him to go over the list and get his blessing. Otherwise, he'll be like, "Who are you breeding that horse to?"
the inside scoop.
Yeah.
So I mean, after such a deep dive into the science of pairing, a mating, the breeding announcements, and all of that fun stuff, it's equally important, if not more important, how these lives are actually brought into the world and delivered. And our next guest is here to speak on that. Chelsea, tell us who this fabulous guest is.
This is Susan Finney. She is our broodmare manager at Resolute, and right now she is hoping Forbidden Nectar does not fall while she is here. We have been impatiently waiting for this baby, and she's doing everything but laying down and having the baby.
Literally, she has been waxed up for a week, dripping milk for the last 2 days, and I've said to Chelsea, she'll text me every morning and be like, "Baby?" And I'm like, "No, just no."
Can you tell us what, a lot of viewers are so unfamiliar with this, what does waxed up mean?
So, first of all, a mare's gestation is about 11 months. And towards the end, so about a month before they're due, their bag will start to develop, udder development. And you can tell that they get closer when they get what's called wax. It's actually, I guess the technical word for it is colostrum. And it begins to bead up on the end of their teats. And it'll be this honey color. And when you see the wax, you're like, okay, she's got colostrum. She's ready to give it to the foal. Like, it's, she's close. And then sometimes you have mares that don't wax at all in foal, and then you have mares that wax for days. And then, like Forbidden Nectar right now, she's dripping milk. So those wax plugs have actually come out, and now they're dripping. She's like actively dripping milk on and off. It's all over her legs, and I'm like, girl, just go. like, we are here. Everything is fine. But, it's really cool. Like, honestly, foaling maidens is one of my favorite things. They're first-time moms. And to watch the bond that a lot of these, you have mares that have had 4 or 5 foals. They're like, okay, yeah, that's my baby. But seeing a maiden for the first time, really the foal comes out and she's like, whoa, like that's,
turn around and kind of like, oh my gosh.
And it's actually, it's super cool to see like what I call like a mother's like first love. And I'm sure a lot of moms at home, it's the same feeling, of having a baby for the first time. It's cool, for sure.
Do you remember your first foaling that you ever watched?
Oh, gosh.
And were you like, whoa, this is insane. I think that I want this to be my whole new life now, or?
It's funny, like when I first got into the business, I was doing yearlings mainly. I did a lot of yearling prep, and really I was like, I don't like working with foals because they get big and they're big enough to hurt you, but they're too small for you to discipline. You know what I mean? It's like they do what they want. But I remember seeing my first foal probably when I was at Dromoland. I was at Dromoland when I was like 18, and they had a foal there, and I remember being like, what is all of this? That was like over 10 years ago, but it's like I couldn't do anything else. Like if you asked me to go and like prep yearlings and do all of that, I guess I could do it, but it would be like, it's not like my passion. But
bottom line is you're not getting into an office job.
No.
You will not find her in the HR department.
Are you nocturnal now?
Yes. It's like I tell people I'm on house arrest for 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
It's like my mom will be like, do you want to go to dinner? And I'm like, where? Like, how close?
It needs
Don
to
jockeys
be
only.
Like, is it in a mile radius? And
Why
she's
do you
like,
think that is that horses often foal at night?
I think it's all about calm and quiet. Like, at night it's quiet, there's not a lot going on. We are very, and especially at Resolute, and even before where I was before, I'm so adamant on giving the mare the best experience that she can. And you can ask Noel, our farm manager, he agrees. It's, it's like after 7, all the lights stay off. We have a low like heat lamp in there, and it's just really quiet. And I think that is important, and that's probably why they foal at night. During the day, you have tractors in and out of the barns, and blowers, and vets, and people, and they just don't feel comfortable. Now, you'll have a couple that'll foal during the day. We had quite a few last year that foaled during the day outside, like it's where they start. But for the most part, they tend to go at night.
And I think a level of that is instinctual, right, too.
Yeah.
That's the least chance of a predator coming upon you in the wild. And look, everything that we do in the breeding industry really does mirror what would naturally happen in the wild. I think that a lot of people might have questions about, whoa, she just had a baby and now she's going to be pregnant again, because the gestation cycle of a horse is 11 months. So it's a full-on year. However, again, in the wild, that is the goal. And these mares go into heat. They are ready to be bred.
Oh, yeah.
And you've been around enough mares to know they're not going to do anything that they are not wanting to do.
And honestly, even if you're talking about in the wild, like, not only will they probably not accept the stallion, but they're also like, they won't catch either. If their body isn't ready to have another pregnancy again, they won't, you can't get them in foal. I mean, now, like in 2026, there's so many medicines and all this kind of stuff that you can, we follow them along as best as we can, and we want to breed them right on ovulation. We do all of these things to manipulate getting them in foal, and if they don't want to be in foal, they're not. That's kind of the way it goes. So when we go to breed after foaling, it's really the whole process is the mare telling us what she wants to do. And I even tell people, like, during foaling, it's like, this is her show, not mine. I'm here for her. I'm just here. I don't have to push this baby out. She does. So it's really her telling me what she needs and trying to make the best experience possible for her. Calm, quiet, a good environment and a good experience for both the mare and the hopefully healthy foal.
A good foaling barn is almost like a med spa, where it's like, what do you need? Towels, a heat lamp, a
massage,
17 bales of hay, mounded
nice
up.
bed,
lots of treats.
Yes. So it's kind of like there's a lot of things that can go wrong during foalings, but when you have a mare deliver a baby and that baby comes out and it's bright and it's alert and it's like ready to nurse, and the mare is like normal, not acting like hemorrhaging or anything like that, you're like, okay, I can breathe. Like, it's like this deep breath, and I think that's kind of what's happening with Forbidden Nectar on the farm right now. It's just like the anticipation of like, wanting to have a healthy foal is just, it's unmatched, really.
So how many foalings would you say you've witnessed now since the age of 18 to now? And also would love to hear a story about maybe a favorite from the time at Resolute.
Oh gosh, I would say I've probably been a part of, I'd say 200 plus foalings in the last 10 years or so.
Wow.
And probably one of my favorites at Resolute, I don't like to be so typical, but like when we foaled Puka last year in May, it was, I remember she foaled like in the afternoon, like right after lunch, around 1 or 2 o'clock, and outside. And it was the most, honestly, magical thing. She laid down. It was a beautiful day. I remember there was like a slight breeze. It was one of the most beautiful days we've had. And she just laid down right there on Cinco de Mayo Day and just foaled. And it was just, that's probably one of my most memorable, because not only because of who she is, but when you foal them outside, you have people who don't like to foal outside. You have people who, there are a lot of people who can disagree on that. But I will say, foaling outside is just like we were talking about earlier. It's just keeping them so close to nature. The mare is calm. She lays down. She foals, and then the umbilical cord's still attached, but you want that to stay attached as long as possible. And when they're not stressed, when obviously if the mare gets up and the baby's down on the ground, the umbilical cord is going to break. So the mare just laying down, then she started just picking at grass, feel like
she's a queen.
Sounds like my friend had a natural birth in like a pool,
like a human natural.
Yeah, like a human natural. Sorry, pivot.
Talking about real babies
I was
now.
wait,
real baby.
Your friend, the horse?
No, my friend, she chose to do it. That I would be the med spa type, where give me the towels and all the amenities.
And give me all the assistance I can get.
all the assistance I can get. But yeah, I guess everyone has their preferences, and it's the same with the horses.
And I bet I haven't had a child, but I bet when I do have a child and then I go to deliver foals, it'll be even more special, because it's like, oh my gosh, what else can I do for you right now? I need to do everything.
I can feel your passion for the horses.
I do love it. I do love it. I love bringing foals into the world. I love seeing foals born it's just, I can't stress it enough. So many things can go wrong. And things do go wrong, and you have to prepare yourself for those things. But if you do the work in the beginning, following them along, following their pregnancy along from the day they're bred to 8, 9, and 10 months, when you're looking at the overall health of the placenta and making sure that the placenta is healthy. If the placenta is healthy, then the foal's going to be healthy. And when you go through all of those steps to try to not create this domino effect of mistakes, it's like, you've walked this whole 11 months with this horse, and it's like, here it is, like, you know, like it's time. So that is obviously, I'm very passionate about it. And
how connected do you feel to these horses when they then go and race?
Oh my gosh, super connected. You'll remember every single thing about, like, if you have a mare going to race, or a foal, well, it'd be a racehorse at that point going to race, you'll be like, I remember what time of night you foaled. You know, like, I remember how long it took you to stand up. You were so stubborn, you didn't nurse for like 3 hours, and I didn't get to go to bed that night. You know, like, you think about those things, and you know, it's like Will Walden. You know, my husband's really close with Will, and he had Bless the Broken running the Kentucky Oaks, and that was a homebred of ours that I foaled and raised. And
that's
like,
so cool.
And so getting to watch her go to the Oaks, and if you'll watch the America's Best Racing video, which I really don't want anyone to watch because I'm absolutely neurotic in that video. I am like,
watch it.
I'm like,
wait, can we get a replay?
No, don't put that up. I am like literally screaming. Like, you would think that Bless the Broken won the Kentucky Oaks for us, because it's just everything that she's been through. The you know, from the night she foaled to, you know, being where she was, and then obviously the whole story with Will and my husband, and like all of that. It's just, it was like those moments are like, you're like screaming, like tears are coming out of your eyes, and like you're not even at the last turn, like the final turn. You're like, why am I crying?
No, I think that it's because these animals are so special and truly transcend everything, and they've touched so many people. So between whether it's creating the pairings of a breeding, being there for the birth, having hands on the horse as a yearling, or even working at a consignment where you work with the horse, there's so many touch points between humans and thoroughbred athletes. And so to be there from the birth, though, to watching them run in a race like the Kentucky Oaks is incredible. And definitely do watch that video. It's pinned to the top of the America's Best Racing Instagram, and I think it's got well over 10 million views, by the way.
People sending it to me like, you're crying, and I'm like, I know.
Like, it happens. I know. Well, gosh.
Yeah, and our first homebreds are now 2-year-olds, so we're getting close to like being able to experience, you know, the satisfaction of seeing, you know, something we created, you know, hit the track, and we just can't wait.
And it's the same for anyone that's at the farm, that's been behind the scenes with these horses. Obviously, to touch quickly on the horse that you just spoke of, the Foaling that you loved, where is that horse now? So this would be the sibling of, so Puka was the dam of Kentucky Derby winner Mage, as well as the Belmont Stakes winner Dornock. And that foal, is that Freaky?
No, that's so he's 2 now.
Okay.
So the one that I'm talking about that was born in May, she's still on the farm. So she just, as of January, became a yearling. And she is still at the farm, the most spoiled brat you've ever met. She will, like, we bring, so the one thing I do love about Resolute, it doesn't matter whether you're a mare, whether you're a retired gelding, whether you are a foal that is Puka, or whether you're a foal that is, you know, our rescue that we rescued from a kill pen. Everything comes in every day and gets to rest in the mornings and eat, have a meal inside. Especially, it's really nice, you know, in the summer it's great because it's hot. In the winter it's nice because it's cold, you know. So she comes in every morning, and you should see her tear the bottom of that feed tub up. She will about kill somebody to get a meal. She does not miss a meal. She pushes everyone around because it's like she automatically knows who she is, which is so funny because
this is just what Chelsea was saying. Like,
they're so funny. They know. She literally is like, I'm better than you, and I know that I am. It's so funny. I'll send you the video later, Chelsea. I took a video the other day of Puka running around with 2 others that she's turned out with, and she is absolutely eating them up. I mean, she is like working them around this field. And
she's getting them in shape.
I know. She's like, if you all want to keep up with me, you better start training now, because I'm only training at half the speed.
And a fun fact is, her 3-year-old year, the Kentucky Oaks falls on her birthday.
Yes.
So we're going to put that out into the air
there,
now.
some foreshadowing.
Some good foreshadowing.
Yes.
I love that. That seems so serendipitous.
Yeah, the good race horses, you know who they are. You can tell them they have a different way about them. The way they move, the way they walk, the way they, and that's the cool part about, foaling as well. You foal this thing that's like all gangly and or whatever, and then you watch it grow up into this big mature horse, and you're like, man, I knew I saw that. Like, you can just tell by the way they walk just how good and talented they really are. So
thank you so much. This has been so much good insight and passion, and we hope you have many more crying Oaks experiences for horses.
We're going to have so many of them.
Yes.
If it's not a crying Oaks experience, I feel like it's going to be Chelsea and I crying over all of her saddlebred babies.
I smuggle my surrogate mares out in the fields with the thoroughbreds.
Oh my gosh.
So we have Chelsea's show horses too, which are so fun.
In the field with
we keep the saddlebreds separate from the thoroughbreds for right now, but as it gets bigger, I don't know if we're going to be able to. And I feel like we can smuggle them in a little bit better, and like with John, if they're just like there and be like, who's this thoroughbred?
Like nobody's gonna know.
No one will know.
How would they know?
No, Chelsea and I are probably going to be the worst at that. We love conspiring.
But one of my surrogates is actually a big spotted mare, and her name's Teardrop because she's a paint and she has actual spots down her one eye.
Yeah,
Precious.
one blue eye.
She could pass as a thoroughbred for
exactly.
sure.
But you know what everyone asks when they're touring the farm? They said, "What is that mare?"
So what is that?
What is that mare?
And then
I want to
Juliana
know
has
who
to
she
be like,
is.
it's not it's a saddlebred. And then they're like, well, what's that? And it's like, welcome to the saddlebred tour. Like, we love to talk about some saddlebreds here and there.
So that's another thing. People can go visit Resolute, correct? Are you the one out there that people get to chat to on a tour?
Well, Juliana does all the tours, and she's fabulous at it. She knows the history of almost every mare and every foal. I don't know if she goes home and studies it every night, but she's the best person for the tours because she'll walk out and I'll be holding a mare around a mare and foal, and she'll be telling everything about
Every
it. And I'll be like, I didn't know that.
Learn something new every day.
No, it's officially a horse country tours destination. Again, come see some really, really passionate people and some phenomenal roster of horses. I feel like a lot of times the stallion farms get a lot of glory, as they should. However, getting to see an operation like this, and where else are you going to see saddlebreds?
Brunch with the babies is really awesome.
farm.
Yeah, we did that last year, and we're going to do it again in April. And I'm actually really excited for Brunch with the Babies because it's open to the public. Everybody can come and meet and greet the foals.
That's
and
so cool.
Get up close and personal with the babies.
We have like a little trail, like a walking trail, where we'll turn out all the babies, and they're, because we bring our foals in every day and they get handled, and it's like they'll literally come up to the fence and just hang out all day. Like, half the time you go on tours and you're like, well, that's cool, but that horse is all the way over here and we can't get it to come over here. Not at Resolute. They will be all over you at the fence.
They want the attention. Or treats.
Sure, treats. All of our yearlings eat carrots. Our guys start giving carrots to our babies, like as foals. You could go to the yearling sale and offer a carrot to every horse at the yearling sale, and I bet none of them would take a carrot.
Yeah, they don't know what it is.
They don't know what it is. You go to Resolute and they hear a bag of carrots. Chelsea's out there throwing them over the fence just in chuckloads.
Guilty.
I'm driving past and I'm like, is that carrots all over the ground?
You can tell when I've been by.
Just to drive by carroting.
A shout out to Juliana in the comments who gave it to her last year. She's over here helping with the stream as well. Juliana, you're amazing. That's what the commenters are saying. You give great tours.
Yeah, Juliana's the best.
Great. She is.
Truly, truly.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We so appreciate your time. We'll let you go in case, your mares start a foaling here.
Time to go.
So thank you. I wanted to comment on I'm hearing all of these amazing stories at the farm, and I just can feel the love of the animal just exuding here from the team. And so Chelsea, I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about your aftercare initiatives. I know you have the poker tournament coming up, Poker for Ponies.
Yes.
If you want to give us a little bit of info about that.
Yeah, so we actually have our own 501c. We just got our accreditation last year, and it's called Racing to rehoming. We like to be kind of like, like just a helping hand in that matter. And we also pulled directly from kill lots. So we've pulled a couple, and Sarah, John's daughter, she pulled 3 yearlings out of a lot in Texas, and one of those turned out to be Awesome Hawaiian, who trained under Will Walden, and he won first time out at Churchill Downs. We were all there in our Awesome Hawaiian gear, losing our minds, and it was just great. I mean, you couldn't have written a perfect story for that.
It's incredible to see, something that someone else didn't take care of, to bring them back into training and have such an incredible outcome. Can you tell us about Poker for Ponies too?
Yeah, so we're gonna do.
I started as a fan, and
falls on the Thursday, I believe, of Derby week, and our first year we were like aiming for like $200,000 to raise, and last year we raised $500,000 for Aftercare. And, last year was like, I mean, it looked like a legit poker tournament. We were in there fighting.
This footage
right there you see Brooke Smith and I, we ended up, Brooke actually got knocked out, and I was still in, so he was like, let's collaborate. And we ended up coming like runner-up, but lots of, charities, so many charities reach out to us afterwards, and, it's just so impactful. The donations that go from that to the, local charities and nonprofits.
It's incredible. If you are interested in getting involved with that, you can scan the QR code on the screen. We will hopefully be there as well, doing some more coverage for that event in April. It's hard. Oh my God, I can't believe it's already February. It's right around the corner. This year.
I keep looking at the calendar, and I'm just like, is Derby really that close?
It's terrifying. We don't need to talk about that right now.
Don't do it.
But the set has once again changed. We have Ryan Norton with us from Gainesway. Ryan, how's it going?
Hi, ladies. How are you all?
Fantastic.
We're great.
Better now that you're here,
well, of course, but you all clearly they picked the right three to do this. I've got a face for radio, so.
Come on now. Well, how's the night been going for you so far?
I can't complain. This is a great place, great food. I've been told those were the best mini hot browns that we've ever had. And
I handmade them.
You handmade them? Well,
no,
congrats. So.
Not just a pretty face, y'all.
No, she's multi-talented. We've known this for years.
No, I think that the spot and the vibe and the ambiance and just the amount of representation in this room is phenomenal.
This place is great. Chelsea, I know you had a hand in decorating this, but I mean, it's fantastic.
The horses did the decorating, really.
True.
We won some trophies. We got some cool gear, some cool saddle towels.
Right.
So credit to them.
I mean, this is a perfect place to have an event like this, and it's a great party place, and you all did a great job.
Thank you.
So for anyone watching at home that might not be familiar with Gainesway, what is the download? What's going on at the farm? What's the stallion status?
The download.
The cliff notes for the new
I mean, you can't start anything without talking about Tappet. King Tappet, as we like to refer to him as.
Gorgeous boy.
He's 25 years old this year. He's going to breed about 50 mares. But, knock on wood, physically he's great. Fertility's fantastic. So we're going to run it back. And, leading broodmare sire, 3 years in a row now. So had a Breeders' Cup winner this year. So the old man's still getting it done.
He's such a cool character, like quite literally too cool for school. When I went to go visit him, I stood outside of his stall. I was like, this will be great. We'll get some good videos of him for ABR. He kept his butt facing the stall door. He didn't even glance over his shoulder at me. He's
I was going to say, it might have just been you, but that's not true.
Please.
He is a horse that, he knows his routine. I swear we could just open the stall door. He would turn himself out, bring himself back in at the right time. It's 2:30 and he hasn't been fed yet. We all know about it.
Love that.
He runs the roost, and deservedly so.
No, I think that, so obviously he's the star, but you guys also have some new additions that were recently on the racetrack that some fans might be familiar with? Maybe some My Racehorse connections?
Yeah, I was like, well, I mean, our new horse this year is Locked, son of Gun Runner out of Malibu, similar breeding to Sierra Leone, which, I'm already been discussed, I'm sure, but multiple Grade 1 winner, beat older horses in the Cigar Mile, standing for $35,000 this year, and has been very popular, going to breed 200 mares, so we're excited about his arrival at the farm. And then, we had 4 new stallions last year, so that was quite exciting. We had Tap It Trice, Grade 1 Bluegrass winner. Charge It won the Dwyer by 23 lengths, bred 235 mares. Muth, the only stallion retired last year to be a Grade 1 winner at 2 and 3. And then Seize the Gray, who I think we'll probably talk about a lot more in depth here, but, Preakness winner. And so very excited crop of horses that we had last year.
So Seize the Gray, who won the Preakness Stakes, was owned by My Racehorse owners. I gotta know, have there been a lot of My Racehorse visitors?
We have a lot of My Racehorse visitors, so there's 2,570 of them, I believe.
Wow.
I think I've met 570 of them already. But no, they're great. I mean, My Racehorse does a great job of marketing these and doing everything and selling these micro shares. And all it is creating new fans. And these people come out, they love Seize the Gray. We had an event back in October, 200 people. And I mean, people flew from Arizona in to come see the horse, get their picture taken with him, and fly home. I mean, they love him.
Wow.
And, clearly we have a nice mare in foal to him. Good night, Olive.
Good night, Olive.
Please, give us the update there,
She's
Chelsea.
due in March, and we're all so excited to see it. And it is going to be a colt. You can fetal sex, the mares, I believe once they're 60 days in foal, and we love to spoil the surprise. We want to know what's cooking.
You gotta know how to decorate the nursery.
We just can't wait. It's just kind of like opening the Christmas present before Christmas. So.
Oh my gosh, how excited is Gainesway for that?
I mean, he bred 196 mares. She was hands down the #1 mare in his book. I mean, he had 4 or 5 other Grade 1 winners, but not a multiple champion. So there's 2,500 plus owners, plus me, waiting to see this foal. So
yeah, much anticipated.
Very much.
So, okay, Chelsea, speaking of the Resolute roster of mares, is there any announcements
for
the season?
It's not Good Night Olive this year, but this year we're sending Misty Vale, who's actually one of my favorite mares we have on the farm. Back when she was racing, she was just a hard-knocking mare. I mean, she was always going to show up, had so much heart. And I believe she actually attained millionaire status, or if not, she's just a few dollars short. But, just a class act, and I'm so excited just to see her go there, and then this time next year I'll be just on the edge of my seat waiting to see the baby.
Right. I mean, it's the perfect cross. I mean, it's a similar cross to Archangelo. I mean, classic winner. I mean, so it makes complete sense why you would go there. And I mean, she's a nice young mare. I'm looking forward to seeing how this baby turns out, because like you said, she's a nice stakes winner. She's a great mare, and I think Gainesway sending multiple Tappet mares to Seize the Gray, so I don't know why that Tappet line should work really well with him. So
absolutely.
Ryan, we've gotten some shout-outs in the comments about you. Apparently, you give really great tours.
Oh, well, thank you, whoever that is. But
maybe you'll know, he gave us a great tip on Dr. Kapur the same day.
Oh, well, there you go. Glad somebody made some money.
Giving tips, wow.
Hey, so you got time to throw some change
tips
around?
Well, I mean, Dr. Kapur's in here this weekend, so down at the Tampa Bay, so we'll keep our fingers crossed and see if Mackenzie can have another stakes winner.
Hey, if we can get on the tip line for any of these picks that you've got.
I've got to make money, so I can't tell everybody. So
I think that we should also invent a drinking game here on this show where it's every single time that the word cross is mentioned.
Oh,
maybe it's a good one.
No,
there's a lot of
there's be too many hospitals on call at that point.
I like that. So, okay, new stallions on the roster, a lot of exciting things. Gainesway, I mean, the vibe, the look of the farm, the appeal of it. I feel like it's almost like a little Tuscan village. Almost the Stallion roster, the Stallion like little barn
The
colony
complex
thing.
is, I mean, well, those barns were completed in 1984 by John Gaines. I mean, and they won an American Institute of Architecture award, so they are very unique.
Okay, so I actually kind of knew what I was talking about a little
you knew
bit.
it was something cool and
There you go.
and not odd, but different.
Yeah, it
than
doesn't
every other
look like
farm
a-
around here. No, it looks
typical
very,
barn.
little 4-stall barns, and they're kind of just little villages, like you said. Those barns back in '84, I mean, they were state of the art. I mean, they have wash racks built into the barn. There's a central vacuum system built into each stall of these stallions. I mean, they were extraordinary back in 1984, and they're still state of the art now. So they stand the test of time.
Bottom line is, people need to get out there, visit Ryan, get
gonna
some
say,
tips from him,
yeah.
get some more tours.
Yeah, some good tips.
Get these tours. Come see. We're a nationally recognized arboretum. It's come in the spring when you come down to the Keeneland meet. Come, everything is in bloom. It's quite gorgeous facility. So, and some nice stallions to look at as well.
I gotta come. I moved here 2.5 years ago. No, almost 3 years ago. Wow, time flies. I don't think I've been. I haven't
never
been to very
been?
many
Well, we need to
farms,
remedy that
so,
sooner
yeah,
than later.
I need to come out. I need to do all the bourbon tours and all the farm tours. I just need to.
She's only ever been to Town Branch Distillery. Doesn't that seem like sacrilegious?
Interesting.
The
I
disgust on your
can't hate on you
face.
because I've never done any distillery tour, and I've lived here my whole life. So
Really?
Hang on.
Is it because
I
you're
know.
from here, so you're too cool for
here's
it?
what we'll do.
Maybe
we'll
we
go
should
do
all
a
take a
distillery
field
tour and then
trip.
come to
Yeah, I think
Gainesway.
so.
Perfect. I love it. I am down, honestly.
Check it off the bucket list.
Yeah.
The last thing that we'll touch on, the bourbon collection here within this room. This is kind of like a tour of Kentucky, all captured within the room in the walls.
Pretty
in
much.
the bourbon selection. So, I mean, I guess you don't have to visit the bourbon distilleries when you've probably had a little taste.
I was going to say when
of
you can come to a establishment like this and have most top shelf bourbon available. I mean, what's the harm? So
What's your drink of choice?
I should have gotten a bourbon. I don't know why I got a gin and tonic, but that's usually my go-to. But you know,
Swing and a
try
miss.
to keep it at a minimum so I didn't get us FCC fines here tonight.
No, you've kept everything very above board, on brand. We thoroughly appreciate it. We want you to be able to get back, enjoy the party, some appetizers, some beverages.
Well, Chelsea and gang, I appreciate you all having me out here.
Yeah,
This
of
was
course.
a great,
Thank you so
great
much. Really
establishment and
appreciate
a
you
brilliant idea. So well done.
Thank you
you.
so much. We appreciate
Thank
you
you all.
joining.
We have a good time out here.
Let's check in. How's it going? I think this is fun.
This is honestly such a vibe. And I mean,
It is a nice vibe. Yeah.
Resolute, you guys work with some really, really incredible entities, honestly.
We really
Like
do.
I
We're
said,
very
the,
blessed.
The pool of people within this room is a wealth of knowledge. Again, we want you as viewers to be locking into the comments, dropping any questions that you might have.
2 comments. Let's go, Ryan. Yeah.
Hey.
Oh,
hey.
Gainesway commented.
Yeah.
Gainesway supporting their own. We love to see it.
Oh, good.
If anyone can gas us up, it's great. But
Okay, I think I'm gonna.
We're doing you know what? Before we do that, I want to show a video while we
okay.
do a total swap. But first of all, Chelsea, since you're going to hop off for a minute, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you all.
Chelsea, it's been the best.
Yes.
You're a
We
natural
might-
at this.
We
We're going to
might
rope
pull
you
you
into
back
more.
in towards
Okay.
the end of the show. We'll see.
If you all get tired of John.
But you need to have at least, another cocktail, enjoy,
Yes.
mingle,
Yeah.
have fun.
No,
We'll
of
have
course.
fun. And we're going to show you a video with our next guest talking about Aftercare.
I started as a fan, and I think, for fans, it seems like the owners, the trainers, the jockeys, they're there, but you see them in the program, but they seem almost untouchable. And I try to break that down, and I'm just trying to take people along for the ride and let them experience it with me.
I'm gonna get a shirt, actually.
Oh yeah, yeah, y'all grab a shirt. Those are cool. All the money's going to the Aftercare where we take care of the horses after the racing crew.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I think if you want to be a part of a sport, you have to embrace all the parts of the sport. And so you can't just do it with like an intention of just taking. And so I'm not in this to take. I told my team from the very beginning, winning races is the result of what we do. It's not the goal of what we do.
Well, you heard it. Winning races is the result of what this man does, not the goal, but the result. John Stewart, thank you so much for joining us and having us here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. This is turning out to be quite a fun night. We also have done a double swap here, and we have Michael Behrens from My Racehorse joining us as well.
Thanks for having me.
It's perfect timing, really. We were just talking about Seize the Gray, obviously how he's doing out at Gainesway. And it sounds like the estimate was 570 My Racehorse visitors have gone out to horse country, visited Seize the Gray, as well as some other stallions. And that's just really cool to see the pipeline. And I think that both of you really strongly align on getting new people and new fans engaged in the sport, which is a big part of why we're here tonight.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think it's important. I started, betting on horses, and a lot of people know the story now. And to me, it seemed really mysterious, and it seemed intimidating. And so I think us being more open and trying to take some of the barriers down for people, and I think what My Racehorse does, it's very polarizing, I found out, with people, but I don't see how anybody can be against it. It's a way that everybody can participate. And so it's so much fun, even when we did the Puka, 24 colt, which we're getting ready to, announce a name for him, with the fans. But even like all of the guys on the farm, we got them shares, and all my grandkids, and they got a share of, Puka 24, and they're all like excited about it, and it makes it real for them. So to make people excited about horse racing, how can that be a bad thing? Why isn't everybody like supporting the My Racehorse endeavor and trying to do more of those things?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I was over there before I came on watching the Seize the Gray win. And to relive that was pretty exciting. So when we first started this thing, to John's point, we were excited to make ownership accessible, but to make the best ownership accessible, to get access to some of the biggest stars on the biggest days. Seize the Gray reminds us what's possible. For 2,300 people to own a piece of that winner, and then to partner with John on Puka, there's 7,503 people that I think own one of the most prized, well-bred, most desirous horses of the last generation. And for them to share that with so many people is pretty awesome.
Is that the largest ownership group you've ever had?
By far.
That's a lot of people.
So
Wow.
Good luck. The second largest was Authentic, and he won the Derby, so I'm just saying.
It's set up well. And again, the horse that they are speaking of is related to some serious winners along the Triple Crown Trail. Mage in winning the Kentucky Derby. And then the following year, Dornoch running in the Kentucky Derby, which is a feat in and of itself to have made it to that point. And then winning the Belmont Stakes, as well as some other really key signature races. So I know that the nickname for this horse was originally Preaky, as that was the one race that the brothers had not gotten yet. So I'm curious, in this naming process, is this going to be kind of a crowdsourced name? Tell us how that's working.
Yeah, we're going through the process right now, which is really awesome. So John and the team were kind enough to allow the 7,503 partners to be participatory. So we're right now actually in the middle of going through literally thousands and thousands of submissions.
I was going to say, how many?
It's really fun. We go into the office. I have no clue how many. There are thousands of submissions. So we're going through right now, picking the kind of the cream of the crop, and then they'll kind of vote on the best of the best, and we'll find kind of the ultimate name. And I think we'll find it's pretty amazing when I think about the crowd. You think about 7,500 people. They come together. There is an unbelievable creativity. You'd be blown away by what you've seen.
Can you tease a couple of your favorites that you've seen? Maybe give a little inside scoop.
I got to be pretty protective of the process.
Are there any themes, I guess?
I do think that a lot of people were very, very appreciative of what John has done by made this horse available to so many people. So I think the idea of accessibility, the idea of a large participatory group being part of it, I definitely saw that theme across. I think people really did like the nickname Preaky. So you see a lot of people who got very endeared and were like, I can't believe you're changing it. So I think there was some affinity to the nickname that we had for so long. So I think those were two themes that I saw come across a lot. But there was also a third, I think, was, this is like the ultimate, in breeding, right? I mean, this is the blue hen is a word that I really never knew until.
That was our drinking game at the last
At the
show. Every
physics
time
show
blue
in
hen was
Saratoga.
mentioned.
I mean, but this is like the definition. If you look it up in Wikipedia, like there's a picture of puka. Like you don't produce back-to-back Derby starters. So I think that there's also a lot of around the naming. I think people want a strong, solid name that I think he's earned the right to have.
They say that is a factor, that on a certain level, horses live up to their names in some sense. So sometimes there is real power to that really succinct, strong name, especially for a colt, because if he goes on to become a stallion, I don't know. There's certainly some interesting ones.
He'll always be Preaky to me. Having him, raising him on the farm, and he's got this really great personality. And everybody that follows us knows I love to drive around the farm and just give the horses treats.
Oh, yeah. Chelsea was saying she throws carrots basically out of a moving vehicle.
I mean, you're
into the
talking
field.
about Chelsea and I actually this year, we bought houses for our raccoons.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait now. What?
Yes. So one of our hobbies is if everybody wants to know, I live this real sophisticated life. Like, what do? I drive around my side-by-side, and I feed deer, and we feed scraps to foxes and raccoons. And we have game trail cameras all over the farm. We got like 30 of them. And so I got to worrying. It was getting cold. I'm like, where are the raccoons? Where are they going to go? So I started looking up, where does a raccoon go? And they go in logs, and they go underground. And I'm like, that's terrible. So I bought these these houses you buy for feral cats.
Okay.
Off, Amazon.
Oh my gosh.
And I put them out on the farm, put hay in them and everything. And sure enough, and we baited them and everything. Those raccoons love those houses.
I'm gonna need a link because my plumber left the opening to my crawl space open. And I realized there's some footprints going in and out of there. And I've definitely got some things living under my house right now. But it's so cold, I can't close it and leave them out in the cold. But they're gonna chew up my electric, So I need a feral cat house.
Yeah. They sell one. I didn't even know what they were, and I was looking for for a rabbit house or something. And they got these feral cat perfect. They look like little 2-story condominiums. So we really care about the animals.
Have you always been just an animal lover?
We've always had pets and everything, but to me, the horses, it's just different. They're so intelligent. They all have their own personalities. Preaky was, because he was raised on the farm, and we brought all these really nice colts. We had them together right before they went into training. I would go over and I'm giving these horses, treats. Preaky he sees me over giving someone else a treat. He starts pacing up and down, running up and down the fence. He starts yelling at me. It's like, I'm here. You haven't fed me. And he always gets more than everybody else. And so he's really special. To me, and I couldn't think of anything better to do than to partner with my racehorse. I mean, when I talked to them about it, they were up for it. It was a big valuation on the horse. I mean, he would have been second highest paid horse this year.
Yeah,
There's maybe one higher.
Yeah, we definitely. I mean, it was an evaluation that I think was fair, but it was significant.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't have, we did the right process, and but when else would the fans of my racehorse got access to that horse other than you going and bidding, $4.5 million, which is hard to do, right? And so, because we kind of took a chance on being able to get it sold down, right? For sure. So we took that chance, and to me, I like it now. I meet the fans at the track, and they're like, "Hey, we're partners." I love it. It's so much fun for us.
We
to
just
bring people in.
showed a clip from you, I think out at Saratoga, talking about Aftercare, and there's a sentence you said in there where, you're not doing this to win races. It's a result of what you do, but it's not the drive. And I just feel like Resolute, and you have a true passion for the sport. And that is really special to see. Obviously, we care about that. That's our whole goal, too, is to bring new people in.
Well, the awesome Hawaiian story, so my daughter buys these 3 horses out of a kill lot. And, we send this horse, only one of them made it to the track. We send this horse to Will Walden, and we're at Churchill Downs. That horse is running down. We didn't expect the horse to win. He comes around the turn. He's breaking out. It could have been the Kentucky Derby, and we wouldn't have been more happy for that horse to win the $30,000 claiming race. And then he got claimed, and we're like, who the hell's this Joe Sharp guy? You know, and you know, but he's a good guy. But you know, like we couldn't have been more happy of that. And I see some of these owners and their horses, just fantastic horses, and they come second in the Breeders' Cup and they're pissed off. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's Breeders' Cup.
Yeah.
You know, like
me and there's a win.
Yeah, watch us with Goliath, you know, running in the Breeders' Cup. Just to bring Goliath to the Breeders' Cup, you know, and get him with his string halt and get the stewards to sign off and get the vets to sign off. And to make that happen, and then I had to pay I paid like $300,000 to bring the horse over here, you know, because I thought, you know, the fans deserve to see the best horses, you know, go toe-to-toe in that race. And it created a lot of excitement. It created a lot of education. He didn't win, and everybody's like, oh, you're a fool because he didn't win. No, I didn't. I did exactly what I wanted to. We had a good time.
Rachel is our social media mastermind, and I think, I might be mistaken, but I think the video of Goliath was one of our top, if not the top video at Breeders' Cup with his swag.
Yeah.
You know?
It was incredibly popular, and me, in the way that my brain works, again, it was a highly educational video of a SpongeBob song synced with Goliath picking his leg up, and every time that SpongeBob made this, like, or no, it was Patrick, I think. I don't know. I wasn't allowed to watch that as a child because my mom thought that it would stunt my mental development.
I wasn't either.
Clearly, she was wrong. And anyways, every opportunity, and the more that we kind of share and lift the curtain on behind the scenes, it is an educational opportunity. And so we posted that. Obviously, there was a ton of questions and comments, and you can just... Again,
we have
educate and share the wealth of knowledge.
We got little plushies of him, and he's got his little string halt leg up in the plushie.
And he's been everywhere around the world.
Yeah, he's runs in Qatar next week for $2.5 million.
Wow.
So, you know, again, you know, he's a gelding. When he was ranked 4th in the world when I bought him.
Wow.
You couldn't have bought, if he was a colt, you couldn't have bought him. And so I bought 75% of him, and Philip, the breeder and owner, stayed in. He's a great partner. And he's taken us to Japan. We've been to Ascot. You know, we've been, you know, all these great, in France and Germany, and all these great places. And it's not all about winning the race, you know. And they're my racehorse owners. You know, you guys all went over to was it Saudi or Dubai? Both.
Dubai
right?
last year.
Yeah,
Dubai was an amazing trip.
Had a huge.
We had about
turnout.
I think about 30 people basically just came out for the entire week to go celebrate Straight No Chaser in that race. It was probably one of the best weeks that we've had as a partnership.
But I don't understand, how can people, like, how many people are so negative about my racehorse owner? Oh, it's not real ownership. Oh, really? You own in 5% real ownership? Like, what point is it not real ownership?
Yeah.
Right? You know, it's what people can afford, and it gets them involved.
Exactly.
And connects you to a
cares?
community of people, which I was lucky to be on the Dubai trip to watch Straight No Chaser and be involved in all of the experiences that the owners got to do. And the common thread between all of them, which spanned every generation, honestly, was, hey, this connected me to all of these other people that I didn't know. And I think that probably one of the biggest challenges with the current era that we live in is connecting with people outside of a digital landscape. People are really, really hungry for community, connection, and if there's kind of this casual hobby, I think that is probably the best benefit that comes with the My Racehorse connection.
Well,
because
in
then
North
there you go,
America, who has more of a following in the thoroughbred industry than My Racehorse? I don't think anybody does. How many people do you guys have? Is it 100?
We have just under 100,000. We have about 160,000 people that are part of it.
160,000 people. If you look at all the social media, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any other organization, so I mean, what they're doing for the sport is phenomenal, and everybody should be supporting. And I think, like we did, I think we showed a model that other farms that have these good horses, we still, have the majority share of the horse. We're partnering together. I think we're still going to try to do like a collab silk on the ownership of the horse. Right?
Whoa.
And Chelsea's
working
on that.
That's pretty fun. Michael's like, all right, I guess we're talking about that.
Me and Michael have a lot of ideas. I got some. We're going to talk about Goodnight Olive in a minute, but I've got a Not This Time colt that's a yearling this year and might make a good partnership. Why don't you, My Racehorse people, tell you what you think about that? If we should partner up again on something like that. I think that would be a really good one as well. Goodnight Olive's first baby is a Not This Time colt that Chelsea was wise enough to send her to, and he's a beautiful specimen. And
we saw some footage earlier of him running around, and he
Ollie.
Ollie is the nickname.
We're not very creative on the farm, you know.
Little baby boy Ollie. That's so fun.
And she's expecting to colt by Seize the Gray now, right?
Yep. And then I got some flack for that, but you know, I tried to buy Seize the Gray before Gainesway bought him. And you know, I think it was like going back and forth there, and because I wanted to continue to race them, and you know, we were going back and forth, but we support it. We went in with Gainesway and we bought some shares. And then what should you do if you own shares in a Stallion? You should send your best horses there. And so, you know, it was a no-brainer for me. Plus, with our Pedigree 360 system, you know, she lined up really well, and the Ghost Zapper mares line up really good with Seize the Gray. And so we were like all over it and wanted to support him that first year. And you know, people told me I'm crazy, but you know what? You can go the Night of the Stars, and you can pay $6 million for a mare. You get to do whatever you want with it.
There's not always a secret sauce to these. You know, I think that everyone is very confident in their opinions, whether it's at the sales or with breeding, and the magic word, what cross works best. That's kind of been our drinking keyword of the night.
Rachel, was that your cue?
Is cross. This old fashioned has not gone down at all in the last hour. We gotta
slacking over here.
Keep encouraging. But look, I think that experimenting, trying different things, it's really fun. You're kind of like a mad scientist in the lab when you get to put together these matings and pairings. You kind of teased, was it something about Goodnight Olive?
Yeah.
Soon? What can you share?
I don't think I'm supposed to share that
Not
yet,
quite
am I?
yet.
Not
That's
quite
the
yet?
big reveal. That's coming
that's
soon.
the drum
Sorry.
roll. That's the drum roll.
Stay tuned.
It's
Not
gonna be.
yet.
It's exciting. It's going to be exciting for a lot of people. You know, I'll tell you one thing about the Stallion farms. They're all begging for Olive, to come and be there, and
So stay tuned for that.
It's fantastic, and Chelsea gets all the credit. Her and John DeReam are on our team. John works with our Pedigree 360 team in Australia, and so they work really hard on all the matings that we selected this year. But you guys got to hear from Chelsea. I'm so glad that she has, been able to get out front and talk. A lot of our live streams, she hasn't talked yet. And,
I know, we
and
got
she's
her.
a natural
and
at
she was
it.
great.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She's just so knowledgeable.
She is.
And people think, that, she's just a pretty face, which she is, but she's super smart, super intelligent, and her taking over the helm as CEO, earlier this year, I think it's just shows what young women and young people can do, in the sport. And so I'm really proud to support her with that.
We love to see more women taking up leadership roles in the industry. I think it's a great thing. I know it's a big passion of mine. It's a part of the Horse Racing Women's Association to help just elevate and invest in women. And if you haven't heard of that before, you should get involved. We have events throughout the year. There's one coming up on March 4th, I believe, at Santa Anita. So if you're West Coast based, go and find a community of women that can really rally around you and support you. Michael, before we let you go, I want to hear about just My Racehorse in general. Anything on the horizon, exciting that you guys have coming up?
Well, a couple things. One is we just started getting into breeding last year for us. So this is very, very new for us. So once we got the Stallions, to John's point, one of the things you want to do as an owner is you want to support your Stallions. So we've got now Seize the Gray and Straight No Chaser. And so we decided to see if partners would want to go on the journey of the fun pairings and finding out the right mares. So we went out to Keeneland and Fasig, and we've bought mares now. And so we have 7 mares that we've bought now that have basically either been bred to or going to be bred to Seize the Gray and Straight No Chaser. We've got 2 Seize the Gray babies that could be on the ground here in the next couple of days, which will be the first for our stable, which is a really fun journey. And actually what's really interesting about that is we have, I think, 3,400 people who have went on the journey with breeding, but 2 of our partners on the horse were originally micro-share owners. So they started off buying a share, and now they own 40% of the mares with us.
Wow.
Right? So what this has really proven to be in the United States and Australia is a wonderful way to get involved, figure out what you love. These two love the breeding side of it. So they got involved, they partnered, and then what they wanted to really double down was the breeding side of it. We've had other people go out and they get into the claiming game. That's what they like. We've had other people buy stallion shares. Other people have been buying colts or fillies. So it's really been amazing to see so many people come in. They kind of buy a lot. They'll buy the high-priced yearling. They'll buy the well-bred filly. They'll buy the horse of racing age. They'll get into breeding, and then they find what they really like, and they can kind of double down that way.
Yeah, I think you're making it accessible. People can kind of test it out and feel it out and understand the process, and it makes the intimidation less.
There was no way to test it. My background before coming to starting my racehorse was I was in digital marketing, and so the brand I worked for before was a company called Casper, and we would basically sell you a mattress, but we gave it to you for 100 nights for free. And one of the frustrations I always had with racing, it's this beautiful sport centered around these amazing, majestic athletes, but there was no way to get involved and try it.
Yeah.
And you just knew that if people could try it and they could get a taste of it, there was no turning back. And I think that's exactly what's happened across the globe, is you come in, you have this fractional opportunity. I never thought we'd be in horses like Puka, but to be able to get in horses like that, then the kind of energy, the excitement kind of takes over, and you never know where it's going to take you. A lot of them stay with us, a lot of them go do their own thing. So I think that's been exciting. Just our venture has gone from racehorses to now breeding to who knows where it goes next.
Yeah, no, it's incredible to really be kind of the top of the funnel, like as we say in marketing, right? To get people awareness, engagement, and then to see actually people move down that funnel within racing and get involved deeper is really rewarding. So it's awesome work that you're doing. We have Emma Brown in the comments here. She has 2 questions. She said, where are you hosting this? Looks like a cool spot. This is called Olives in Lexington. It's a speakeasy that is owned by Resolute. Really is a cool spot. And her second question was specifically about my racehorse, what the benefits are being involved in my racehorse and what experiences race owners receive from buying into it.
It's a great question. Well, 2 things. One is, I'm very proud to say it is true ownership. So one of the things that we did, I love across the globe any way to get people involved in ownership. There's lots of ways. There's different clubs and there's different ways that people can get involved. But what I was really interested in doing was, could we make ownership real? Could you actually have an equity interest in the racehorse? So these are fully equity-based interests, which is why we have to go through the whole Securities Exchange Commission and FINRA and all that kind of good stuff. And then once you own that equity interest, it is what you would expect from ownership. It is the behind the scenes. It is interviews with the trainers. We just had a great video this morning of Puka on the racetrack with Ian. There was a GoPro on. You could hear him talking, what he was looking for, what he liked about what he saw about the horse. And that's what I love so much, is that behind the scenes, how did a horse ever get to the winner's circle, right? What happened? And we're watching right now on the earliest days of Puka's training, right? I mean, he hasn't even had his first 2-minute lick. I think that's like next week, right? So we've seen the entire thing from going through the breaking process to that first gallop, to that first 2-minute lick, to that first breeze, and then hopefully into that winner's circle. So you get the full behind the scenes, you get really good insights. It's incredible how much our partners and our trainers and the jockeys will really give the good insight about what's going on. And then what's been great is you also get to open up to the experiential. When you partner with people like Resolute, they've been amazing. We've had, I don't know, I got to say 24 tours. I mean, of all the partners that we've had, I would say John and the Resolute team has been the most embracing that it's not just about owning the horse or getting the updates on the app, which is really cool. It's about coming out to the farms. So they've hosted almost once every other week an opportunity for the partners that own Puka to come out and see him and see the farm, and met the mare before, when she was there. And so it's the whole thing. Now, can we have everybody come out every single day? That would be difficult with 7,500 people. But we do make a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, no, it was great. We actually did one of the events that I really enjoyed. We had Puka, Preaky, and we had her 2025 filly. And her filly was born on the day she was born. When she turns 3 is the day the Oaks is run.
I think it's
heard
serendipitous.
a whispering of that earlier, that maybe it's a little bit of foreshadowing there, hopefully.
Destiny.
Yeah. So anyway, but the fans, my racehorse fans, got a special access to that event that no one else got access to see her with Preaky. I mean, and then I was explaining to them, they'll never see each other again.
Yeah.
Like, the horses will never be back together again.
Right.
That was the last time because he went off to training the next day.
Yeah.
That was the last time those 3 horses would ever be together again. So you got to see those multiple generations, special for them. And we had people that, really enjoyed just having that opportunity, and we enjoy having them out on the farm.
Well, it's great. I mean, like, it's such a unique industry and sport, and I think the one thing we always harp on is, like, the second you experience it, the second you show up at a racetrack or you have an ownership group or something, I mean, you really are drawn into it. I mean, we're seeing it tonight, all the amazing people in this industry and the passion that everybody has. So, I mean, we have a lot of My Racehorse fans in the comments coming in. Emma saying thank you for answering your question. Of course, we want everybody's questions in the comments. We want this to be educational for everybody. So
well, there's going to be about 700 people this weekend at OBS. So they've been kind enough to allow us to use the facility. So we basically are having a 2-day event where all the horses that are down in Ocala are coming to the racetrack. They'll be galloping, they'll be in the stalls, and all the owners get to come down and spend the entire day with their horses, take the pictures, hear from the pre-trainers.
I didn't get invited to that.
You're always invited, open invite.
What's going on?
But what a cool opportunity. 700 people are going to come down and spend the day with the entire stable of horses.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty neat what that's been able to do.
Well, again, always so many exciting updates from My Racehorse. Anyone who's interested in learning more, go check out their website, learn about the offerings, their socials, anything.
And we have a video, actually, of one of their offerings that I know they're really excited about. So we're going to show you guys that here and do a little set swap. But, Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
My biggest win would be over in Royal Ascot.
Undrafted, Brazen Bow towards the near time, trying to peg him back. Undrafted wins the Diamond Jubilee under Frankie.
When we won the Diamond Jubilee, and the Queen of England presented us a trophy, and all of my children were up on the podium and got to shake her hand. It was just it was a wonderful day, and my children will never forget. Start the Party he's in the top tier of all the 2-year-olds that I train. We went through the sale, each and every horse, narrowed it down to 2 handfuls of horses that work for me physically, and then we go for the pedigree after that. And this guy was right there at the top of the list. Just a beautiful colt, and I'm glad that we have him. Well, the end goal would hopefully be become a stallion. To do that, he's got to accomplish that on the racetrack. If he was in a 2-year-old sale, he'd bring well over $1 million the way he's moving right now and training, and he's a bargain right now. As he's maturing, just like any athlete, young kid in high school, so he's very intelligent, very smart. He has a playfulness about him that you got to make sure that you have the right rider on him. Each and every month that goes by, we're all smiles here, and we have big hopes for him. Racetrack adage is he's shining like a diamond in a black goat's ass right now, so he's glowing. Well, obviously, everybody's looking to get to the Kentucky Derby, and he's got the pedigree to do so. He's very precocious and fast-looking. I think he's going to come out a lot earlier than I originally expected, just because he looks like he's going to be a fast horse, but yet have the ability to go further. Everything that we've seen so far looks like he's still at the top of the list here.
Exciting things
I
coming.
was there with JD. First of all, shout out to Alex and JD and Greg, our videography team, who's making all of this happen and putting together all these amazing clips and footages to keep it thrilling and exciting on here. So thank you guys for making this possible. And JD and I went down to Florida to film Start the Party. And I will tell you, I created a My Racehorse account after that day because I was like, he looks so good. I want in on that.
I know, him rearing, bucking around on the backside. It's pretty fun to see them in that kind of training element and sphere. Obviously, he was feeling good down in Florida. If we haven't made it clear, we're reporting to you from Lexington, Kentucky, and we've kind of been frozen in an ice shell for the last 10 days, 14 days. So it's been very, very chilly and below freezing. I think we're finally going to get above those freezing temperatures next week, maybe. But John, how's that been out at the farm in this cold weather? Is there anything that has to be done specially for, the horses or the new foals? I feel like they always seem to be born when the elements are not agreeing with you.
So Princess Calla, she just had a nice Mackenzie colt, right as the storms were approaching. But I think the rest of the moms are like, it's too cold. We're not doing it right now. And so it's just keeping them warm. I mean, the hardest thing is the snow's like really hard. So even trying to give them any paddock time at all, is really difficult. Now the horses don't care, they like it. I was, George, my trail horse that I ride, I was out there the other day giving him some treats, and he had icicles going off his stomach.
Oh,
and like,
my gosh.
He could have cared less. He was just having fun, out in it. But we like to go out and have fun on it. Last year we invited the community. We took some chainsaws and cut down sections of the fence and invited everybody to come sledding, had a big bonfire.
So the fence was cut out specifically just for sledding.
Yeah. Our my farm manager wasn't too happy with it, but I reminded him whose farm it was. So we had a good time. We invited a bunch of people and just posted it online and some of the other farms, and we had people come out and we had hot chocolate and a bonfire, and most of the grooms had never seen snow before. So they had fun, packing the snow down and riding sleds down the hill.
Wow.
And so it was a good time. So
the elements for this time around, I would have to say it's probably too cold
it's
to
too
do
cold.
that.
We've talked about it.
And a lot of
it's too
ice.
cold.
The way that it went for us here in this region was snow, ice. Just got a little bit more snow today maybe, but it's been a lot. I still think that was wise of you to remove the fence, because I can't imagine anything worse than bombing down a hill sledding and then seeing a fence. And again, these fences are sturdy enough to reinforce thoroughbreds.
Yeah. We put hay bales out in front of them because you got up going pretty fast going down the hill, but it was fun. Good time for everybody.
Zipping on by.
Yeah, we're always trying to have fun on the farm. So
tell me. Oh, go for it.
Okay, so not pivot from the cold to the warmth. You told us in that segment just now that you have a horse running down under where it's warmer. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, a shout out to all the Australian fans out there. We have Lady Moscato who's getting ready to run the stakes race tonight. She's with Gay Waterhouse, and it's a prep race for the Golden Slipper, which we had Storm Boy run a couple years ago. And so we're pretty excited about it. She got third in the debutante stakes back at Magic Millions. So we're partners with Coolmore on the horse. They've been great partners with us. We've got about 50 horses, I think, down in Australia. So a lot of partners down there. I mean, it's funny. We own 20% of a horse or 25%, and they let us put our silks on it all the time. People down there just want to be partners with us. So it's been a good way to get into the game down there.
I love it. The sport is so global, so worldwide. Obviously, we're spoiled with a lot of fantastic farms and racing here in the region that we're in. And we've got another guest from a prized
here we go.
Lexington establishment. We're joined by Tony Sissel of 3 Chimney Farm. How's it going?
It's going well, thank you. Breeding season's in full force now, so things are going good other than the snow.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. Hey, you might be able to go sledding at Resolute sometime. Maybe add that into the mix out at 3 Chimneys. So, as you mentioned, breeding season is about to kick off. What is the status report from 3 Chimneys at this moment?
We currently have 5 foals on the ground. We had our first Newgate for us, who was one of our new stallions last year, so that was exciting. A very nice filly. And we're waiting for the first gun pilot, but we've got mares backed up, ready to foal, so it's all go. Stallions are in good health. Everything's rolling along well with them.
So can you speak to a couple of the stallions that have a lot of fame within the industry that are standing at the farm that people might be familiar with?
Obviously, Gunrunner would be our number one stallion. Great racehorse, great sire. He's already sired 12 Grade 1 winners, 52 stakes winners. So he's
roll off those statistics.
Yeah, he's on a roll. But we added last year. We had a gun pilot, one of his Grade 1 winning sons that we bred. It was a homebred, so that's exciting.
Always cool.
And we also brought in a horse called Newgate, who's a son of Into Mischief. So we're very excited about him as well.
That's a solid roster. I gotta say, Gunrunner, one of the most beautiful horses in my opinion. There's something about that deep, rich coat color, and I feel like he stamps a lot of his progeny with that.
He does. He's an average size stallion, and he fits so many mares well. You can breed small mares to him, you can breed big mares to him, and then his pedigree is very interesting as well. does really well with Northern Dancer mares. Malibu Moon, Seattle Slew Line mares, AP Indy mares. But he's a great stallion.
I mean, y'all are lucky with that one, and so many others, obviously. Speak about the history of Three Chimneys as well, because like I said, it's kind of an institution in
It is. At one point, Seattle Slew stood there, so that was Triple Crown winner, and he was a great stallion in his own right as well. And it's interesting that Seattle Slew Line mares cross really well with Gunrunner.
Oh, there it is. Got a drink again. Again, that's our keyword of the night. See, John, this will come up a lot. Yes, grab your beverage as well. All right, keep it rolling, Tony.
But Rahi stood there at one time. Point Given. There were a lot of horses that from the past that have stood there that were nice stallions as well.
Being from the Northwest, I gotta love a Seattle Slew.
Yeah.
Come on, it's not many times that
That's true. That's true.
You've got that name incorporated into the mix.
Yeah.
So, in speaking about the relationship between Resolute and Three Chimneys,
It's been a great partnership.
Yeah, we own a horse together.
Yes, we do. We have a son of Gunrunner called Silver Shot, who's a really nice prospect that we're excited about. And John's been a wonderful partner, and we look forward to many more partnerships.
Yeah, we're really excited to announce that Goodnight Olive is going to Gunrunner this year.
Wow!
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Put the air horns. Can we get fireworks?
Yeah. If that doesn't make you excited, if you're a Goodnight Olive fan out there, and not just a top stallion, but one of the, if not the top stallion in the country. When you go to these sales and you see what the value is of these gun runners, Ron Winchell and I partner. You got to partner on them to be able to afford them.
Yeah, he had a yearling average this year of over 900,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
and what's his stud fee right now?
Well, we started off at 250, but they've gone up to 300. So it's.
Is he number one top dog? With that? Sorry to put you on the spot.
I don't know. Into Mischief, they may have had the same situation where they've got so much demand that they raised him as well. But certainly Into Mischief and Not This Time and Gunrunner would be the top three.
Top spot.
Yeah.
So what made you choose that?
Well, you got to ask Chelsea that question, but she's the brains behind all that stuff. But she does all the matings and works through with the team, and I support the decision, of course. I was a big fan, and so if they think it's a strong mate, how can you not like that pairing? And so she's a real strong filly, excelled with quick filly. She's a sprinter. He's done everything. So it's just exciting when you have a mare of that quality. We were late to the game. Again, we're learning a lot of things, so we were a little late on planning our breedings this year, and they got us in. You kind
of had to.
No, Goodnight Olive is a special mare, and it's interesting. You could always find room for special mares, and and she's a champion. She raced well, and to me, Gunrunner was a very sound horse. And as far as we were talking earlier about the breed, but Goodnight Olive was a sound, really tough, durable horse, and so was Gunrunner. And I think that if there's anything we can do to help the breed, it's breeding good, sound horses.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you got to take those opportunities, with it. We Not This Time. Chelsea picked that before he really took off, and so I'm confident in the pick, and we're thankful, that they're getting her in. She's got to seize the great colt that's due this year, and it'll be exciting for everybody. But even without a $300,000 stud fee, and a $900,000 average price, you're talking a 3x multiple.
It's a sound investment.
The value. And look, when I first got in the industry, and when I first stepped up to Keeneland and started buying horses, all of my people in the industry knew me. They all told me, you got to get a gun runner. Everybody told me you got to get a gun runner, and so
they were looking out.
Yeah, and what's more exciting to have a homebred, So that's
exactly.
That's what makes it even more exciting for us. And we've purchased horses that have won Grade 1s, and we won 4 Grade 1s in 4 different countries last year, and we're still waiting for our first crop. The Goodnight Olive. Pre-key crop is like really our first homebreds where we selected the breedings for those horses, and so we're real excited to have that kind of quality of horse and of that combination of Gunrunner and Goodnight Olive.
Yeah, well, we're excited to have those kind of mares, and thank you very much. He's also sending another really nice South African mare that's coming to Gunrunner.
Yeah,
and she was a horse of the year.
2-time horse of the year there, just similar to Olive, and that's what attracted me to her. I bought Olive that year. She was 2-time Eclipse Award winner. I had the opportunity to buy Princess Kala, brought her over here, and really great mare. She just had a really beautiful McKenzie colt. That bloodline, is she's a Flower Alley, and she was she ran a lot.
Yeah, I know she won 12 times.
Yeah, 12 times. I think 9 of them were graded stakes races. I think she ran 30 times. She's one of those mares.
And she's going to Gunrunner as
well. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then fingers crossed. We have a horse together called Silver Shot, but we've got Paladin on the Derby Trail. We don't own him, but a son of Gunrunner as well as Further Ado. So I know Gunrunner and Into Mischief were the top as far as having horses nominated to the Derby. So
it's going to be so exciting.
This footage here, I believe, is Princess Kala's foal.
Oh, baby, yeah.
Previous baby.
Oh, my gosh. What a spunky
and
little
he is
thing.
the friendliest thing. We
with a blanket.
Well, we get to show up like when they're born, and so it's kind of like that in Jurassic Park. He's like, I like to be there when they're hatched, and so it's kind of like that with us.
Finally, John's getting in on the references to other things like I do.
Yeah, so we get to be there when they're born, and and so like I think they delayed a little bit because when Pizza Bianca had her baby, I live streamed it. And the farm manager was like so nervous something was going to go wrong during the live stream. So now they tell us like after they drop, and but we get up there, and she's just a great mom, and we sneak, we bribe our way in there with treats to get to be with the baby. But he just really, comes right up to you and really is showing no fear, and so it's just fun to see him at that age. And then we get the joy, and I'm sure you have the same thing, being able to see them to develop and grow, and and then when you see them on the track, you're even that much more proud of them.
Well, for you, breeding a good racehorse is a very rewarding effort, and when you breed really good horses, and you're on your way to doing that with Goodnight Olive and Gunrunner, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very rewarding.
Yeah, it's so fun. The Not This Time colt we have is just so exciting. He could break some records if we took him to the market, and maybe thinking about doing something that we did with similar to Pre-Key, and that would excite a lot of people. And but this Gunrunner colt is something that you got to be excited about if you're a Gunrunner fan or a Goodnight Olive fan or you're a racing fan. And Bobby Flay last year when I announced that I was going to take Puka to Frankel at this, but we ended up selling her. That was some dream that I had of doing that. He's like texting me. He's like, John, don't do that. Like, don't do that. That's like a bad move. You can't do that with that mare. So hopefully, Bobby Flay, if you're out there, you approve of this mating.
Bobby, if you're watching, please tell us your opinion of this breeding in the comments. We have got to know.
Well, me and Bobby, we own. I bought Pizza Bianca, and then he had seller's remorse. He wanted to buy her back, and he wanted to buy her.
How quickly did that happen after he sold her?
Like as soon as he saw like the pictures of the baby, and so he's like wanting her back, and so like if I was going to sell her to anybody, I was going to sell her back to him, right? Of course, and so we bred her to Justify, and so she had a Justify colt. So we have owned the colt together, and he's going to be a yearling this year. Well, Bobby doesn't like to keep the colts; he wants to sell all of them, and I want to race it. So I kind of told him, I said, I think it'd be fun for maybe with America's Best Racing, we do a Beat Bobby Flay episode between John and Bobby Flay. And if John wins, we race it. And if Bobby wins, we can sell it. And we do it like Derby week. So, Bobby, I'm calling you out.
I'm liking this.
Yeah.
I think
We do
there's
this
something
little
here.
Beat Bobby Flay episode.
You're going to have to cook, though.
Yeah, no, I can cook.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm
He
down.
actually he made the hot browns.
Bobby, no anchovy seasoned breadcrumbs. You can't use those. We're a big fan of your show, and he cheats with those anchovy flavored breadcrumbs. He puts them on everything.
Shots being fired.
That's what he
Being
does.
called out.
He throws them on everything, and that's how he wins all those episodes.
You know, if you want to beat him, you got to join him.
Oh, no, I got a plan.
Season the
I got a plan.
I love this idea so much. Again, Tony, we want you to be able to get back, enjoy the party,
Thank you for having us.
celebrate.
It's a great
absolutely.
event.
Yeah, thanks for
Celebrate
coming.
the good news
We will.
of, again, this is kind of the news of the night.
Yeah, no, it will be exciting to see Goodnight Olive. I saw her at the races, but I've never seen her actually up close, so it will be exciting to see her when she comes to visit Gunrunner.
Well, thanks for having her, and thanks for Princess Calla as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that there's going to be a good turnout on the breeding sheds on those days. So
Yeah, it's special. I mean, it's special to go out and see her every day. I mean, we actually have more staff on the farm because of Goodnight Olive. The story is, I didn't know a lot about the horse industry when I got there, but we own Goodnight Olive. I go out there and it's summertime, and she's got like sweat stains on her. And I'm like, I call like an emergency meeting. I call everybody. I'm like, what the hell's my $6 million mare doing with sweat stains all over? And they're like, she's a horse, because they're Irish, She's a horse, John, that's what they do, And I'm like, no. I said, we have people coming out here to see this horse. Like, I want every horse that's on this farm every day to be groomed. And they're like, you're crazy, you're mad. And I'm like, I don't care, it's my farm. So every horse, whether it's a rescue horse, trail horse, every horse on the farm every day comes up and gets groomed and gets taken care of. And I think it makes our horses more friendly, because they
All the attention,
we,
the love,
we
the
interact
care.
interact with them, and they're they're getting that opportunity. So anyway, again, it's fun having your own farm and being able to do things like that. Oh, look at this guy.
What's going on, guys?
We've got a new addition to the set over here.
The girls in
Jessica.
Lexington do not need an introduction to this guy.
Oh, shots already fired.
Yeah. No, I'm his wingman.
Yeah,
He'll
I was
tell
going
ya.
to say, without John's help, I'd be a little bit
We
lost.
need
so.
story.
Oh yeah, no. Hey, let's just say
Are they safe for the show?
Pegasus.
No, I got embarrassed. Sensitive topic. No.
Yeah.
I keep Chelsea updated on that stuff. Not as much John.
He does. But
Well, hey, if we gotta transition this
Yeah.
show over to a little pod about John and Jess
speaking
in the
of young
wild.
people in the industry, this guy here, I think, and I tried to hire him. Like, that's how good he is. This is I think one of the smartest young people in the game today, and mark these words down when I'm gone, and this guy's doing really great things. I mean, I bought a lot of horses, and I'll be talking to him, and I'll talk about a horse, and they'll be talking. He goes, "Oh yeah, you paid $625,000 at such and such," and I'm like,
Do you have a photographic memory?
I'm like, what? And it's not even his horse that I bought.
Yeah.
It's somebody else's
He's
horse.
just tuned in.
He knows.
I was going to say, I wouldn't take credit for my intellect. Maybe memory's good.
No,
but
he's-
John's hyping me up. He's making me look good.
No, this is one of the smartest kids in the game. He's getting young people, groups of young owners. You always see him at the track. I was at where were we? Oaklawn. And we were out there.
I'm trying to think.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
We were at,
We've
we're
been
Oaklawn.
at every track together,
Yeah.
but I was trying to think of the
And
scenario.
when you have your own plane, you make a lot of friends, right? And so I saw Jess out there, and I'm like, "You need a ride back?" He's like, "Are you serious?" Yep. So
Yeah.
Now anytime we're going anywhere, Jess is with us. But no, seriously,
freeloader.
super smart kid, super smart kid,
Jess?
and big announcement with him. He's.
Tell us. Tell us a little bit about you and what your announcements are.
Well, I guess the biggest announcement recently would be that, as was planned, I've began full-time as of graduating University of Kentucky a month ago at Hillendale. So now director of bloodstock there. Although I've kind of been working part-time, doing sales recruiting, doing a little bit of pin hooking, investing, trying to bring in new people the last 4 years. Now it's really in the office every day, doing paperwork, trying to be as much of a Swiss Army knife as I can be and be a helpful hand for my dad and the rest of the team.
Well, he's
at
responsible
Hillendale.
for Puka 24 because it was on that plane trip from Oaklawn because we originally were not taking Puka to Good Magic.
Okay.
That was not the plan. And his dad like tried to get us to go to Good Magic, and we said no, and he was like really mad, wouldn't talk to us. And then Jess he's like telling me all these reasons and like all this, like, you know, giving me all these facts and stuff. And so he's the reason
The data moved the needle.
He's the reason that we actually did that.
I was going to say, I think my dad berated you in the paddock, and then you
He
guys
did.
argued for about 5 minutes like you normally do.
And if you've seen his dad, like, you don't want to get berated by his dad.
No.
Like,
Well,
no, it's good because they're both so strongly opinionated. They just argue their points, and everybody else is so
We
done
had a
listening.
really good
and they just
argument
keep
this last
going.
trip.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
that
a
our
good one.
audience, for anyone that's tuned in for past live streams, you will be familiar with Jess's father, John Secura, owner of Hillendale Farm, mainly from the Phasig-Tipton live stream when Marshawn Lynch was his guest. And Alexa went and talked to the Mountain of Field, and that was probably a pretty iconic interview. Marshawn Lynch, if you have any understanding of who he is as a character, he was letting it rip. He was doing the full promotional cut of Hillendale, and your dad was mortified.
He was completely mortified.
He immediately
he was
was
trying
like,
to run
"Don't
away.
post that."
He grabbed like Goliath grabbing David. He just pulled him right back in when my dad was trying to, like a pinky finger.
He was like, "Where are you going? No, you're coming back in here."
No,
And
I think that, I mean, Lance Bell, our advertising guy, does a great job, but I think that would probably be our most effective advertisement so far. I want to say it could be the most effective, popularized
we're walking around looking
advertisement
at
horse
horses,
racing.
and John's like, "Hey, you know Marshawn Lynch?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure, we all know Marshawn Lynch." He's like, "Hold on a minute." And then here he comes, and I'm like, "How the hell is John Segura know Marshawn Lynch?"
Yeah.
You
super
know?
topical on Super Bowl weekend
Yeah.
too. I mean, Super Bowl winner with the Seahawks and everything.
Yeah.
So, but I remember some clips of that went viral, and the following day, to give your dad credit, he was like, "No, that was awesome. Like that can ride. That can ride." But
he eventually
took him a
came
minute
around
to
and was
adjust.
like, you know what, that's actually pretty funny. He was like, even though I think he was talking about semen when he said it, he said, "You're not supposed to say the word dope because it comes off poorly." So I think that was his
A1
concern.
nut. I think
His
A1 nut was the actual
A1 nut,
term.
they have the best dope, yeah. We talked to him the other day, and he's excited. He's going to come down for Keeneland the springtime.
Oh, that's going to be great.
I don't know that he knows who Gunrunner is, but that's where Torpedo Anna's going to go to, in which he bought a little piece. He's got so much going on with his Dove commercials and DraftKings and
He's doing side
whatever
quests.
else he does. So he's interested in racing as he can be, but he's a busy man, and he's continued to go viral with his ridiculous, ludicrous statements with complete vulgarity on Bill Maher recently.
So kind of like your dad.
Yeah, basically. If my dad was from the Bay Area, then yeah, that would be accurate. Yeah, if my dad was from the Bay Area and his name was Marshawn, then it would be comparable.
But again, John's one of the guys that when we first got into the industry, you know, again, I'm worried about like these Kentucky blue bloods not like welcoming you, and you know, like that kind of situation. Not that situation at all. And so John invites me out to his house, and you know, their farm. I mean, I thought I had a nice farm till I went to their farm, and I don't know if you've been to their farm, but it was like one of the first billionaires in America. I mean, we literally got lost on the farm out there one time. It's such a big farm, and then they bought more land and, you know, raised Wagyu cattle and all this stuff out there. John's like into everything, but John invites me and Chelsea out there and cooks us lunch, like you know, himself. And maybe he should be on the Beat Bobby Flay episode.
I know. He made some spaghetti and meatballs
He's an
when I was out.
He's an unbelievable chef.
Yeah, and
really
so,
unbelievable.
It was great.
But he's very welcoming. You know, he kind of like, you know, he didn't put any pressure on me to, other than, you know, Puka to breed. But, you know, he was like, you know, just trying to, you know, make himself available if I needed any questions. You know, when my application was to, you know, for Keeneland to be in the Horsemen's whatever, we went up to John Secura to sign it. We were at Frankendino's. He takes the application, rips it up, takes the phone and calls Shannon Arvin and says, the guy spent $20 million at the sale, make him a horseman.
Yeah.
And hangs the phone up.
John had just walked outside. Gavin was so embarrassed. He'd got like 10 people to sign it, and my dad just looked at it, ripped it in half, and threw it on the table. I think he thought all his hard work had potentially gone to waste.
I got in the horse. Me and
I was
Chelsea
going to say,
both.
but I think he got in pretty quick
I think I was
after
the
that.
fastest one to ever get in. But yeah, if you want to get in the Horsemen's Association, spend $20 million at the sale.
The lore and the backstory. So, I mean, Jess, how's it been coming into Hillendale now full time?
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, thank
Graduating,
you. It's been
exciting
great.
stuff.
It's been a very easy transition because, like I said, it's realistically what I've been doing the last 4 years. Now I can get fired and I'm actually an employee. So rather than just working on the side and
but you got a job, and and I'll probably be nicer to you than your dad. So
that might
probably
be
pay
true,
you more
but
too. That helps.
I think he's.
What you poaching over here?
Yeah. No, I did consider working for John for a while. I just knew it was going to be full-time and a lot, and I was definitely Hillendale focused and knew I was getting close to graduating, and I was going to do that full-time. So I didn't want to start working and then jump ship after 6 months.
I asked permission from the Godfather before I tried to hire him.
And he said if there's somebody you've got to work for, he said John Stewart would be a great guy for you.
His brother did work for me.
Yeah, my brother worked for John this summer.
Oh, yeah?
And Jason Worth's son. They were both there at the same time. 2 Jacksons.
That's great.
Jackson, he said it was the most educational experience he's ever got working from Middle Ground. I don't know if John knows, he just got a really big job. He got a job at CIBC doing mergers and acquisitions,
Awesome.
so investment banking.
Super
right
smart
out of
kid.
school. So
Yeah.
he's very excited.
So
And he
you're
said,
holding it down in the horse industry.
holding it down.
I mean, his mom is the secret sauce there. We talk about the crosses.
Yeah.
She's definitely producing some super
Wait,
super
hang on.
smart
Crosses
kids.
are drinking game.
They got to drink.
okay.
They have to drink. But no, just a great family, and for the sport, and love the sport, everything about it, and again, welcoming to new people. I mean, John, he plays the Godfather roll up. He's a king with the overcoat on, the sunglasses, and and everything. But super nice guy, would do anything for you. And anytime I've ever had a question or needed advice about anything, he's one of the people that I count on. And he came down here in a van. A lot of people don't know the stories. You guys should interview him about his story, his origin story. He drives down in a van and with his hockey bag full of clothes, nowhere to live. Met his wife because he couldn't pay his bills at the bank. Just like,
That's a true Riz King.
That is real. My mom was
but there's
working
a
at
lot
the
of
bank
these
and she had to
stories,
call him
yeah.
about paying back whatever his loan was at the time. And he
Wow.
couldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And she said, I just thought he was the biggest dick in the world. I could not stand him. He'd come in and yell at me. She's like, John, I'm trying to help you. The whole bank hates you, and I'm the one trying to help you out. But then they eventually got along, obviously.
Yeah.
And
What a love
now they've got,
There's so many of those stories in the industry that need to be uncovered. Like Chad Brown, people don't know it. He didn't have any family in the horse industry. He's like the first generation, and he's this super successful trainer. There's just so many of these stories like this about how some of these people got started, and you would think that someone gave him the farm or handed it down to him.
Because it's definitely, there's this perception that it's kind of a old money or boys club, to get involved in this sport, and it's really not the case. I mean, I had no experience or knowledge of horse racing prior to 6 or 7 years ago, honestly, and you see stuff like that, and it's like, wow, this really is a weird, fun little world.
Yeah.
Again, can we just zooming out to the breeding sphere? Think about the concept of how wild this is. That basically we're announcing, who's hooking up this year. And that it's this whole science, and then you can get into the teaser stallion of it all. But there's so many niche, crazy interests and rabbit holes that you can go down.
And you so casually dropped the news about Torpedo Anna.
I was going to say, I know, I should have waited, but I figured people probably knew because we did a little article. Along with Torpedo Anna, some of the other exciting ones we would have would be She Can't Sing, who's a graded stakes winner, half to Sandman. So I know you guys do a lot of coverage.
He's running tomorrow.
And then his half brother, Canaletto, who's a rising star into Mischief, looked great for Coolmore. She's going to go to Nyquist. Thoughtfully, who had the Sail Topper this year at Keeneland for 3.3. She's also going to go to Nyquist. Then the 2 gun runners off the top of my head would be Torpedo Anna and then Guarana, who's a grade one winner, and half to Cornucopian, who looks like he's potentially the next star and out in training with Baffert. So there's exciting updates hopefully to come, and accomplished mares that we're going to take to High End Stallions.
That's so awesome. A lot to look forward to, and obviously you all are doing fantastic work out there. If you guys, ever see Jess and John out at the races, since it sounds like y'all travel around, go harass them, talk to them.
There's so many good people, and come up and talk to us. I mean, we like it. I mean, it's we enjoy, talking to people. We want to get other people involved. If you're a young person in the game, I think there's room for new ideas in the sport. I mean, look at what My Racehorse has done. It's a new idea, right? You got young people like Jess and Chelsea and, a lot of other people, in this industry yourselves that are doing really good things. And, what you guys did, with Sandman and the whole promotional campaign around that, and then you made an owner in the industry. You took somebody that was an internet star, and then what's he doing? He's buying his own horses. He moves to Saratoga in the summer, and he's out there cleaning stalls. I mean, I think it's, and people in the industry hating on that. They're crazy. We got good things going on. We need to promote that stuff.
And you definitely, if Hillendale's not planning on this already, you got to do some content around the Sandman siblings.
I know. I would love to do content, and I was kind of
you
thinking,
know who to call, okay?
I was thinking today, when you're done reading the Tita and the Blood Horse, whatever research you do in the mornings, after watching Griffin's videos, you're kind of I wish there was more of this to see. You're kind of out of content for the day versus any other sport or business. It's nonstop loops on whatever form of social media anybody under the age of 40 would use. It lacks a little bit here. So having somebody that's actively creating content is exciting. And
he's excited about the industry.
That's exactly right.
Genuinely excited.
And I think everybody would be that could get a real taste of it. There probably is a little bit of a barrier to entry, which I know people probably have felt, but if there was a way to welcome more people and introduce some education and get them involved, and even if it's a micro share but some sort of ownership, that would be great collaboration there as Hillendale and My Racehorse on a breeding. They said they're getting into some breeding. I could see that happening. Jess,
John's wheeling.
He's taking this moment to make it happen.
I'd like, put some of this stuff together,
Like John said, I'd be, now that I'm actually in a full-time role, anything you guys want to do,
now he's got the power. He's
happy.
Time to make the moves while we're excited for that, hopefully there'll be a lot more, not hopefully, I'm sure there'll be a lot more coming, news from Hillendale, and hopefully lots more collaborations and ways to get people involved. So we will definitely all be in touch, and
maybe if Marshawn comes down, we'll do a round 2 interview.
That'd be great.
Maybe if we could do a 25-second delay this time around.
No, none of that. We want the authentic Marshawn.
And ladies, I think he's still single. So
me?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, he's single. He works hard. He's got a good job.
He's really embodying.
He's got a degree now.
Yep. I mean, look.
The wingman role.
That's right. This is your guy right here.
All right,
he has
Jess,
done good. He hypes me up every time.
We're going to let you mingle with the ladies back here and see if you can find yourself a nice industry woman.
Look around. Thank you, guys.
But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
John, you weren't kidding about being a wingman.
Yeah, no.
No, he's the best.
Yeah, no fear. Just put it out.
I got Chelsea. So that tells you something. We have a horse. His name's Chelsea's Choice. Everybody thinks it's named after Chelsea, but I'm Chelsea's Choice.
You are Chelsea's Choice.
The horse is named after me. Wasn't the greatest horse, but she's going to be on the farm for a long time. So
wasn't the greatest horse. Well, does not live up to the name then.
No, obviously not.
Clearly not. We're currently ushering on our next guest. If you want to intro who's joining us, Alexa.
Oh, we have Judy AG. Sorry, just a moment from the comments. I would be in on Torpedo Anna.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was I will be in on Jessica.
Oh my gosh.
But actually,
Wild
there's
time to join the show.
There's a way to be in on Torpedo Anna pretty soon. There's a new ownership experience called morningline.io, and this is a way to become an owner of horses in kind of a different format, and there is 1% of Torpedo Anna on the platform. So
Awesome.
it is a way to get involved, kind of similar to a microshare, my
like a
racehorse
stock
experience.
market for
it's
horses.
like a stock market for horse races. But anyway, so
welcome aboard.
Welcome, Adam. How's it going?
Great, thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us. How's your night going?
It is going pretty well. The weather is just still mind-boggling. I parked in my wife's parking spot about 3 blocks away, and I feel like I almost died 4 times trying to get here on the sidewalk. It is.
I know. I almost ate it.
Yeah, our farm is in Woodford County, so I haven't been in downtown in a while, and it's
Haven't made it into society.
Yeah, no, and I feel like I want to go back to the comforts of the farm, and no, it's wild out here, but good to be in here.
That's great. No, I think that the vibes in here are something special. So much memorabilia in this establishment as well, earned by a lot of the horses.
Yeah, no, just seeing all the saddle towels, all these great races, and it just makes you want to be a part of it and have the chance to run in those races on Saturdays and Sundays, you know?
Exactly. That's always the goal.
Yeah.
So, please, to the audience at home, can you share a little bit about yourself, the farm, what's going on?
Yeah, great. So we have Blue Heaven Farm. It's in Woodford County. So the operation's a family operation, always has been. We started early 2000s with my grandfather and my mom. Just bought a couple of nice, well-bred yearling fillies to be broodmares, and just kind of had a little bit of early success, and we're enjoying it. And then, about 2010, about 15 years ago, we bought a farm in Woodford County and moved all of our stock over. So we've been there for 16 years now. We have a broodmare band of about 14. So we have about 10 to 12 foals a year. Primarily for the sales. We usually keep 1 or 2 for one reason or another, but we're selling them at Keeneland or at Saratoga. And it's been great. My wife and I moved here from New York City, so it was a bit of a culture shock going from Manhattan to Versailles.
Yeah, not Versailles, by the way.
Trust me, all of my friends at home find that very comical that it's Versailles, but just got to lean into it.
Yeah, no, we have culture here. It's Versailles.
Yeah, exactly.
We have Paris, too.
We have Paris,
and
London.
Paris, Kentucky, London.
Frankfurt.
Yeah.
It's a very cosmopolitan state.
Yes.
We got everything.
Siri or Google Maps pronounces it Versailles, and I'm like, girl, not quite.
Yeah.
Get the southern accent.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's my one. I know I'm from the Midwest and my wife's from California, so we have 2 kids, but I was hoping they would have really good Kentucky southern accents, but unfortunately it didn't work out. They sound like us, so it's disappointing.
Oh,
but
no.
give them time. Yeah. Got to be around the right people.
Well, that's Blue Heaven. Can you tell us about the name?
Yeah, so it was actually a song. It was an old Gene Autry song from the 1920s that was my grandfather's favorite song, and apparently he would sing it to my mom and her brother when they were little kids. So my mom always remembered that. So we named the farm after that, and just kind of thought it had a optimistic tone to it, and just something sort of inspirational, So yes, we've been in Versailles for 15 years, and just again hearing about all the obviously the great mares and the great stallions. It's wonderful to be a part of all of that, but none of these $1 million yearlings or Grade 1 winners would exist without the people that work at the farms. And we're incredibly lucky to have such a wonderful team, led by our farm manager, Jamie Corbett. He's incredibly skilled and dedicated and experienced. And, you have weather stretches like this for a couple of weeks, and you realize how fortunate you are to have 100%. People who show up every day, rain, sleet, or shine. They're there doing all of the hard work. So, you just really realize how lucky we are and how none of this could happen without people like that, You
get the grooms even wanting to move in, right?
Yeah.
You move in with each other so they can be there to work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just you can't put into words how lucky we are to have people who will do anything to get to work to take care of the horses and, just be reliable and loyal and dedicated. It's incredible just the dedication of the people in this industry, both here and then on the tracks, of course, all over the place. But so very lucky to have all of them.
I love that this is a family operation, which, similar to Jess, the last guest that was on with us, of kind of grandfathering in. And this can happen on every single scale of the game as well. And hopefully, maybe your kids might get into it at some day.
Yeah, I think they were getting interested until about 2 weeks ago. They lost interest in coming up to the barn when it's 5 below zero. But yeah, no, you're exactly right. It's been, my grandfather started, my mom got involved, and I was just always close with them and interested in what they were doing, and just kind of, fell in love with the industry just like they did. And like you said, hopefully it's, we're hoping that this is a multi-generational thing, just like with our mares. It's like we're into, second, third generations with some of our families, and it's great to be a part of that and see sort of the lineage and start to pick up on certain traits and characteristics. It helps you with your decisions,
I've got some of those listed here, like Virginia Key, Starship Jubilee. Tell us about some of the mares.
Yeah, so, Virginia Key is kind of the crown jewel of our broodmare band right now. She was a homebred of ours out of a mare named R. Christie, who was a graded stakes winner. She's a half to a grade 1 winner, Grace Adler, who's by Curlin, was with Baffert several years ago, and half to a colt named Pyrenees, who was a multiple grade 1 placed horse and ran in the Breeders' Cup a couple years ago. And her second foal is that Into Mischief colt named Tapan Street, who won the Florida Derby last year.
That's big.
So that was a big day for us. It was pretty devastating when he got hurt before the Derby. It was going to be a big thing for a small family operation like ours, but fortunately he was okay. But yeah, so she's just been, she was a mare that, one of those stories, we tried to sell her as a yearling, but she had a couple of little confirmation niggly things, so we were forced to keep her, and thankfully we did, because she's been an unbelievable broodmare. Has had 2 7-figure yearlings, grade one producer. So she's currently in foaled gun runner, and we're breeding her back to Into Mischief, just kind of going back to the well with Tapan Street, and that. She's by Distorted Humor, and that Distorted Humor Into Mischief cross is just wild.
Crosses are drinking keyword.
Yeah, Patch Adams, Life is Good, Practical Joke, just many of them. So why not try to make another one of those? So we're excited about that.
Yeah, it worked.
It works.
Do it again.
It worked commercially. It worked on the track. So we're going to give that another go.
That's so cool. And again, from having a band of a dozen or so mares to then bringing one to sale that's consistently brings an insane profit margin and gets to go on and do such incredible things and be on a Derby trail. What does that mean to a family operation?
Yeah, it's just really gives us confidence that we're doing something right, because I feel like in this business, you can do things a certain way, have great success one year, the next year do things the exact same way and have a terrible year, and really not feel lost at times and not know what it is that caused that variability of results. But, the last 4 or 5 years, I think we've had at least one graded stakes winner every year out of, like you said, a group of 7 or 8 horses. So it's just made us feel like, we're picking the right kinds of mares, we're picking the right kinds of times, we're racing them the right way. And we may have an off year here or there, but there's enough evidence now to show us that we know what we're doing.
Sauce. Yeah,
we know what we're doing, and if we stay the course, we have a chance to produce more of these kinds of horses. So it's incredibly confidence building, and it helps through some of the rough stretches when you can think back on how it has worked at times. So stay the course,
Yeah, and I think it's just so encouraging to someone like myself, because I'm getting in it at a later age and making a big investment, and these types of things, and to hear people that made life changes and came and did this, and now they're being successful, and there's a lot of stories like that. It's just really encouraging to hear, and that you can come in and be a new person in the game, and you kind of feel isolated at first, but it's very welcoming.
Absolutely.
Don't you think as well? Even the big farms, even the big farms like Three Chimneys, Coolmore, WinStar, all these guys, Spendthrift, they've just been so welcoming and helpful, and so there's a lot of help, in the industry if it seems intimidating.
A lot of people here, and that's one of the great things about Kentucky versus, nothing. I have a house in New York too, and I like it and enjoy it up there as well. But here, people really get to know each other. You really don't get that opportunity a lot, in a big city like that. But it's very welcoming, and people are very helpful.
Yeah, it's not zero sum like everything seems in New York. It's like everybody, they want you to succeed because then they succeed, and there's no, your loss is my gain.
Yeah.
It's your gain is everyone's gain.
It's the best thing, right? Because you sell Tapestry, but you're cheering. So like
we're deeply invested in his success.
You got the breeder cheering. Like we're doing the same thing. We own a half sister to this horse that's in a race. We're like cheering on that horse, because it upgrades the page.
Yeah.
And so it's just it's
so many
interconnected.
Crosses, for lack of a better word.
You just want to get little tips in here. You keep
she wants a
throwing the
refill.
word out. I know, right?
I don't know what the other secret words are to.
It's a cross. They have to drink every time we say cross.
Yeah.
Cross.
No, but yeah, it's great. The longer that you're in the business, and I'm sure John, you're experiencing this. The more horses that you put out there, you have more to cheer for. You get to a point where every weekend there's something that you bred, a half sister, a young stallion that you're. Have a couple mares going to, have horses in grade 1.
Yeah.
So
you have Olivia's Potion, right? Who's a half to
talking, yeah.
Clico or
I'm sorry, to which?
Olivia's Potion, half to.
Yeah, she's a half to that.
Half to the dam of.
Oh, Clico, yeah.
Clico.
Yeah, so actually she's a new mare of ours. We bought her in the November sale at Fazig this past November. Good magic mare. She's a half to Talkin, who ran second in the Champagne, and a half to the dam of Clico. So yeah, perfect example. There's a bunch of fillies, very active, female family. So a lot to root for kind of all the time. So we're breeding her to Nyquist this year.
Secret signals, secret signs and refills. That's, again.
I think the fans want Chelsea back, so I'm trying to get her to come back.
Oh, we're doing.
Oh, John's trying to tap out with us here. But
there is Olivia's Potion or Clico on the screen there to show you exactly what we're talking about. So, yeah, it's really exciting, and you get involved in one area, and then all of a sudden you're a fan of 20
everything.
Horses, of everything they're connected to.
Absolutely. And then sometimes the emails, I'm sure, John, you get this also. You have a horse like we had Starship Jubilee, was a kind of rags to riches, multiple grade 1 winner story for us, and you get emails from people all over the country saying that they love that horse. I'm going to be in Lexington. Could I come see her? And it's just, it shows you the connection that people have.
Love having them out at the farm.
Love
right?
it. Yeah,
we're the same
Open
way.
Door policy.
People
yeah.
are like, oh, thank you for having us. We're like, we love having you out there and sharing it with people.
You don't realize the impact that these horses have on people's lives who aren't in the business. They just fall in love with a horse. Which
That's what I realized when we bought Goodnight Olive. Of course,
absolutely.
And we arranged with Keeneland to have her go out at the beginning of the year because she had to be retired during the winter, and no one got to say kind of goodbye to her, like farewell.
Yeah.
And so I think doing more of that kind of stuff for the fans. But we went out 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and there were all these people out there to see her. And they're stars. And what other sport can you buy? A superstar.
What other sport can you buy?
I don't
sports
know.
team.
Exactly.
I mean, essentially, you own your own sports team
Yeah.
when you own a horse.
It's like a fantasy sports.
It's a fantasy
Exactly.
for sure. Yeah.
Well, you guys are really living the dream. I mean, it's amazing to see a small, family operation have such success. So we'll definitely be following you and keeping track and wishing you all the success. So
thank you so much. Well, thanks for having
me.
us.
Thanks for coming.
joining
Yeah,
us.
great to have you.
Look forward to seeing
Yeah,
you soon.
thank you.
So
Yeah.
great to meet you. John, what do you think? Are you staying with us? Are you tapping out for Chelsea to rejoin?
I think the fans would. I mean, Chelsea's a lot nicer to look at than I am. So, and she's had a couple glasses of champagne, and that's dangerous. So I think we, that's danger right there. Look at these two young women in the industry here that, are probably two of the most powerful people there sitting there talking to each other. So, getting them in here.
That's what we like. Well, we're going to keep you here with us while we've got our next guest slotted in here. We're joined by Liam O'Rourke with WinStar Farm. Liam.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here. It's going well. We're all having a lot of fun. It's a great venue and great idea to do this, John.
Yeah,
this
thanks.
is really forward thinking and fun and something that we don't we don't do all the time, but we probably should. So this
Yeah,
is
no,
great.
I look at it was kind of a vision I had when we were started to do this. You know, kind of like going after like the college kids picking the school they're going to, right? And maybe next year we should have the hats.
We should have hats.
And we should have them talk about the ones they considered, and but I think the fans are really interested in a lot of the live streaming stuff that we do. Even when it's just us.
Yeah.
And so if we can expand that and get more of the farms, because look at people. Sometimes we're talking about horses that aren't as relevant, but we got this whole industry, and look, WinStar trains all of our horses for us. So we partner with them, and we wouldn't be where we are without them. I mean, it was a real strategic relationship. All of our horses, when they're coming off the track and taking a break, they come to our farm. When they're going back, they need conditioning. They have all the greatest facilities. They got the team there, and so they've been a big support for us and helping us get up, and running and in them. And so for them to participate in this, and they've got some fantastic horses. I mean, and I'm breeding 50. What are you guys breeding? 300? This year?
100 and all told, probably 175 off the farm.
So, that's an operation.
50 is no small, small number
But I'm
either.
just saying, though, that
quite the operation.
Yeah, they're an operation. Like we're like, just trying to get up there. But these guys are a full-fledged. If you've been out there and you've seen that facility, it's amazing.
WinStar is really a full campus. It's
Absolutely.
basically a whole portion of the city that it is in.
Anything you really want to do with the horse, you can do at WinStar. We've got our stallion component. We've got our nursery where we've got, we'll have 140 foals or so this year. Our breaking division, our yearling division, our breaking division, our training division, our rehab. So we've really got the whole process, covered, and that's a credit to the Trout family who built the farm and all the great people who run the various divisions. We've got a great team and great clients. We're really lucky to have Resolute, and I can name a ton of.
You don't have to name anybody else.
Resolute keeps us pretty busy. We're really appreciative to have you with us.
I mean, we tried to get them to build more barns, and then we filled up as many as we could. That's why I have to build a training center.
The idea did pop up actually recently, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I was like, I approached them last year. I'm like, hey, can I build some barns and put some horses here? Because somehow I ended up with 51 yearlings last year. I don't know how that happened, but
Oh my gosh.
I got to learn to put my hand down at the auction.
So, okay, this time of the year, obviously, this show, the theme is all breeding season, everything. So what's on deck out at WinStar Farm?
Yeah, we're just on the cusp of opening the breeding shed, at some point next week. We're starting to get those early calls, mares getting close, the Baron and Maiden, those early mares that we'll see. So we're all excited for that. We've had 12 foals on the farm, so that's always exciting. See the new babies and all the new hope. It's just a hope springs eternal industry. So, every foal that's born, you wonder what could be, right? What could be. So
can you tell us a little bit about that process? Because it's not like you just schedule all these mares on a book and then they're ready the day you're planning to come and see.
Yeah.
So how does that all work?
It's a very collaborative effort between our team, between our breeding shed, our booking department. We've got outstanding people on both sides working with the boarding farms. It's a lot of communication. It's communication, it's detail, and it's a lot of people just working together to make sure that we're doing it right, we're doing everything safe, and we're doing everything at the highest level that we can to get mares in foal and have healthy babies on the ground. So it's a lot of work goes into it.
And how many do you guys breed out there?
We'll breed. We'll breed 1,400 or so this year.
Wow! Out of how many stallions?
So we've got 15 stallions.
That's great.
My busiest year that I had there, we bred 2696. We had 25 stallions that year. We were two breeding
almost
sheds
2,700 mares.
Yes.
And WinStar has a tandem shed.
Yeah, we have 2 sheds going, so if there's ever a traffic jam, a mare needs a little more attention or a stallion needs a little more time, we don't slow down the process. It's like an assembly line down there. It's it's amazing if you see what they do in the breeding shed.
And one of the aspects that we haven't spoken about yet is also the tendencies of the stallions. Part of scheduling them out is some of them complete professionals, you know, in and out maybe 20 seconds. However, some others might have their preferences, their quirks.
Yeah, we've got some funny stories with stallions and their preferences and what they like. And
share one.
How we well, you know, Pioneer of the Nile, for instance.
That's the dad of American Pharaoh, for those who don't know.
He got to this level where he was breeding all these kind of 5-star, you know, blue blood, you know, blue hen type mares, and he sort of preferred the regular kind of.
He liked to get down the gutter every once in a while.
Yeah. So every now and again, Larry, our stallion manager, he's a brilliant guy. We'd have to trick him a little bit and bring in a mare with a bit of mud on her. And,
okay.
Mane down to here.
Sometimes the guy just likes to get it a little dirty.
A mare with some, dreadlocks, a little.
Yeah.
Hey, don't hate on the dreadlocks.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So, and then we do the old switcheroo. So just, we've seen some funny things down there, but it's always they're very, they're very meticulous. It's all very thought out. And our guys do just a great job to.
And the industry has really like made mating, and they've made it like into like a process, right? In and out. In 20 seconds.
A science. It's recorded, by the way. All of this is on camera.
Yeah.
For
not
proof.
for use.
but like so one of my first podcasts I did. And I didn't know, but like Gavin, who worked for us, he worked at Coolmore, and I didn't know what you called him. And they're like, "Well, what do you do there?" And I'm like, "He's the guy who put the penis in the horse. He's a penis inserter."
That is an official job
title.
And I said, "All I know is you don't want to clean his shoes at the end of the shift." But then I found out it's called the Stallion Pilot, right?
Yeah.
Stallion Pilot. Much more diplomatic way to say that.
The rebranding of that job.
Yep.
Wow.
So now I have a pilot's hat at home anytime I feel frisky.
The pilot. Oh my gosh. I know there's so many people. It's full on production, and also there's observation rooms. Veterinarians are watching this.
Voyeurism.
There's about like 10 boots on the ground.
Well, no, but it's serious though. Like if you bring a mare in there, like Goodnight Olive, you want to make sure she gets bred to the right horse.
Absolutely.
And like that can happen. And I'm sure there's some stories about that.
Yeah. Fortunately, in my time, that hasn't happened over at WinStar, but we hear about that happening every now and again. And
I've had 3 Diet Cokes. I'm like a little out of it.
Those crisp Diet Cokes get you a little
get
crazy.
you going.
But I mean, it's all got to be like it's all documented because the jockey club has to make sure that it's like done.
Yeah, there's genetic
exactly
testing the hair.
And
the
now there are ways.
microchips are really good now. That's another layer of kind of protection that helps our guys.
Yeah.
And
down
with
there.
modern medicine now, there are ways to kind of like speed up or slow down a mare's time, right? Like if you're like, hey, we really don't have availability for her to come today, like can we push it to tomorrow or something like there's some ways to make it
there's some ways to kind of move things around. At the end of the day, we want it to be as natural as possible. And the timing doesn't always line up, and from time to time we miss a mare or it just doesn't work. But we try to pinpoint those mares, and again it just goes back to the communication with the farms, our teams, their experience, and
And they can always come back and visit. So something that we haven't explained yet is that stud fees are not what you pay when you breed 2 horses together. That is what you pay when a foal is born by that stallion.
It depends.
Most of the time, it's usually a standard
breeding
nurse, right?
So if you buy a breeding right, you have to pay for it right then, right? And when you purchase it, so like you buy someone's breeding right that they got for a horse. So that's different. So you have to pay for that. So you're taking a little risk on that. Yeah.
There is a variety of different ways and different formats to which we sell, from shareholders in the stallions to breeding rights. lifetime breeding rights. But the majority of what we sell or what I sell are stands and nurse contracts where the stud fee is payable when you have a live foal that can stand and nurse. So we do a lot on credit, but yeah, that's generally the way it. And it's called a season because you have the right to breed your mare to that stallion for the breeding season.
And the farms are great about that because sometimes the mare needs to go a couple times.
Yep.
You know, and so sometimes the mares are a little quirky. You know, and then they have to work it in.
Yep.
You know, and they're always, because it's important, because if your mare misses, right, and you have an empty season, and again, it's an investment, and so they're really good about working with you on trying to do that. It would be probably a really good episode for you guys to go out there and just track all the trucks going in and out of that.
And I think we want to do some teaser content too, because that's just the hardest job.
Teaser content, all right, there it goes right in there.
No, it's such a finite window. Again, since the gestation period's 11 months,
right.
The breeding season in the northern hemisphere. So every thoroughbred's ceremonial and by-the-book birthday is January 1st of every year. And so you want all your foals to be born between January and June. And so the breeding season only really begins around Valentine's Day, ends around the 4th of July.
Very romantic
so
day in Kentucky.
Start on the day of
February
love,
14th.
end with a bang is an easy way to remember the breeding season.
Yep.
And again, it's a scientific process. The second job that I ever had in racing was working as an ambulatory vet tech for a breeding season.
Okay.
So
You
basically, I was a glorified ultrasound operator, and before a mare goes to a breeding shed, you are scanning her ovaries to make sure, okay, she's right about to ovulate.
Yep.
Send her. So again, that's like the next level of science. And then after breeding, doing a 14-day scan, see if she's pregnant, and then checking back every so often after that.
You know
so
your
there's
stuff.
a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, but then you got to also make sure that the mare, behaves. Right, and because the mares can hurt the stallions.
Teasing's a big part of it.
It's
great tool.
Please tell us about the teasers.
They're the unsung heroes of the breeding business.
Tough job. It's a
So
tough
what's
job.
the job of a teaser stallion?
Well, the teaser kind of shows a little bit of interest in the mare, and then we gauge her interest. And it's done at the farms. It's a great, it's a big part of reproductive programs on the farms to ensure the mare's going to be receptive to the stallions. That's kind of the basis of reproductive work on a farm. And then when they come to the breeding shed, we've got teasers there that do the same thing. So we can kind of verify that. We kind of see how she's going to behave and kind of handicap her. Maiden mares that are coming in for the first time, we usually jump them with the teaser just to kind of get that first initial bit of
teasers so that they don't accidentally impregnate a mare. They wear a shield. On their under.
A chastity belt for horses.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that sounds like one of the toughest jobs in the barn, to be honest. God bless them.
And a lot of times they're not
they're amazing
thoroughbreds.
animals.
Yeah.
They can be little.
Little
they can
guys.
be short kings.
Yeah, we have a little pony.
Yeah, they're little, they're gritty little horses that have a lot of, fire in them, and they're really amazing.
Well, while I see coats being put on, I see people exiting, but while we still have you, I do want to ask about Dana's Beauty.
Yeah, Dana's Beauty. We're so excited about her. We appreciate you sending her our way. Just starting with her as a racehorse. When they can win at 2 and then go on and run 47 times, that's. I mean, she was a runner, and she was running at such a high level. At the end of her, both at the beginning and the end of her career. So I think that's a massive thing that I look for in mares. We love
to see that durability.
Yeah,
right?
the durability
we need it,
and the desire and to continue to want to be a racehorse. Is an amazing thing.
Well, we thought about breeding her last year, right? And so at the end of the season, she didn't want to do it. She wanted to keep running.
Right. So, just an amazing thing. Not this time. I mean, what more can you say about him? We love him over at WinStar. Giants Causeway has worked incredibly well. Stormcat in general with Constitution. He's had 4 graded winners. You see that Stormcat pops up in Independence Hall's Pedigree, First Constitution. There's some in Catching Freedom. So it's really neat. What I like in it, the Trippy, that piece of her pedigree there with the 49er, coming back to Distorted Humor 49er line stallion as well. I think that that return to 49er is really cool. We saw that with Neat, who was a top class turf horse, some 49er in his dam side, Cloud Computing in the Pedigree, McLean's Music, Distorted Humor 49er. So that's a really cool aspect of that mating that I liked a lot, and you guys did a great job on that.
It's a good cross.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it on purpose.
Man,
She's having champagne.
I'm running dry.
Oh, yes! Saving the day.
Oh my gosh. Chelsea.
What about me? My boss went home. I'm okay. Just a beer. Or
You don't
something
want to
else.
partake in
The boss left, so I'm good now.
Well, we can also let you go to the bar and grab one if you would like. We're not keeping you hostage.
Not
here.
at all. I appreciate you guys having us. And
seriously.
John, we appreciate all you do at WinStar.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
love having your horses and love having you in our group. And just wish you continued success with the way your operation.
I'll put
is
my
going.
captain hat on later.
Oh my God! Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
It really
all.
has been a joy.
This is super cool. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
All right.
Yeah,
cheers.
this is fun.
All the best.
Yeah.
Oh man!
And sending him with a
Delivered
beverage for the road.
Who says you can't have fun? It's Friday night.
service.
We always have fun.
I know it's Friday night. Something that we haven't touched on: the Olympics start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are you into? You don't get into the Olympics, really?
No, not really.
Wow.
What about you guys?
There's something that ignites within me. Every Olympics. Usually I'm more of a summer Olympics girl. So I remember I got Peacock specifically to watch the Olympics, and I was up in Saratoga just streaming, watching Simone Biles win gold, and was just weeping, somewhere in Saratoga. But again, I think that it just all comes down to those sports stories. We at ABR love telling like the compelling human interest stories, and there's so many of those at the Olympics that always get me going. So
Oh yeah, no, that's
I'll
what's
talk to you after the show about Lindsey Vonn.
Look,
but-
that's what's good about this sport too, though. It's these athletes. We're talking about the matings now, but they're athletes. I mean, they really
and
are
world class. Like
world class.
Your stable is equine Olympian level athletes, and same as all of the Stallions and the group that's come on. So a lot of tie-ins.
Another group that's come on is we have another guest here, Charlie. How's it going?
Great. Yeah, it's great. It's been a great event so far.
Yeah, have you?
Check out the accent there, ladies.
I know, third accent
It's not
in the
Woodford
rotation.
County, a little bit further.
John's the wingman. John's proven to be the wingman of the night.
That's awesome. We'll see how it goes.
He's got the accent. He doesn't need a wing. What are you talking about? That's the wingman.
So tell us about you. Where's your accent from? Where are you from?
So I'm from Cambridge in New Zealand, and I've been in America for this year will be 3 years. Bloodstock services at Ashford Stud, and loving it. It's been really good. Yeah.
That's got to be an interesting transition. Was this your first time in Kentucky moving here?
Well, yeah, this time of year, before I got to America, I hadn't seen snow before I got over here, so
Wow.
a bit of a rude awakening when I got here.
Now you've seen too much.
Too much, a little bit sick of it. The winter's back home, a little bit less severe, but no, love it over here. It's a great spot.
And a lot of exciting things at Ashford Stud. Now, obviously, the home of Mage, Kentucky Derby winner.
Yes.
What else is going on out at Airdrie?
Yeah, we're in a great spot. I think we've got stallions at different stages of their career, and they're all kicking the goals that we'd hope that they would do, and they're doing really well.
Complexity.
Another exciting one.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I bred some Southern Hemisphere complexity horses that I plan to send to Australia.
Oh, cool.
Because complexity, I think, has done really well on the turf in early horses. And so I'd love, as a owner of complexity, to see him, make a trip down south. And so I'm trying. So we bred a few mares this year to complexity that on Southern Hemisphere time.
Well, it's been exciting this year, too, to see Parchment Party as one of the first horses to make it over there for a Real Cup, which is really cool. It's great to see. Like, this is such a mobile sport, right? Like, you can ship these horses anywhere to go compete. We've got the, Saudi Cup in about a week over in Saudi Arabia, and then Dubai
Qatar
coming
next
up.
week.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's very cool and awesome. What got you involved in the international side of the racing?
I travel a lot for my work, so I own a private equity firm, and I travel a lot, and so I get to see a lot of the world, and then it's just something I can do while I travel because, I have a home in Amsterdam, and so when we're over in Europe, we can enjoy this sport over there, and then we literally traveled all the way around the world, when we went to the Golden Slipper, and then I had some business, at different places around the world, and so we literally made like a round trip around the world. But it's just so much fun to see the passion that everybody has all over the world, and there's no better spot for racing, than Kentucky. I kind of compare everything back to Kentucky. I mean, I loved Australia and the racing there. I haven't been to New Zealand.
We got to let the Kiwi defend
the
racing over there.
Australian racing is very exciting. And,
it is exciting.
And they're a major market in New Zealand, and we've got an exciting calendar as there in New Zealand as well. And a lot of our runners go over to Australia to race.
I have Toodle Levita, so it's a New Zealand bred.
Absolutely.
Horse. And so, it's very exciting down there, and they do it really well. They do the syndicates really well. I mean, almost everybody's in a syndicate. And you get a lot of syndicates, and I like that. We have a lot of partners down there in the horses, and we're running here in about 20 minutes at Lady Moscato running down in Australia. So, but really exciting to get to go all around the world and share the sport with people all over the world.
Yeah.
You just have that love. It's like when you have something in common, you can just relate to everybody. And then, I made a bid to buy the Winx filly in Australia, and I got, all of a sudden I'm all over television and stuff in Australia. This is this crazy American that says he's going to pay $10 million for the Winx filly. And I bid right here, for the Winx filly, but thankfully I didn't get her for $10 million. I didn't really want to pay that much money for a horse.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a horse.
Yeah.
But Winx, I mean, what an incredible horse. I think that was one of my first experiences watching, really getting engrossed in a horse internationally. And I remember staying up to watch her last race.
The movie is really good as well.
Yeah, I mean, just really, truly incredible. But
incredible horse when you think about what she accomplished.
Yeah.
I mean,
she was sort of like the Zenyatta or American Pharoah, where she just got the layman into racing. People wanted to follow as like a star athlete in any other sport. That's what she sort of was.
Well, I think when the Winx filly baby was sold, they live streamed it down there, but the auction at Inglis was like the record. When she sold, it was everybody just wanted to get a view of her, and we saw her in person. And some of these horses, when you see the top caliber horses, when you go see the Stallion, they're like they breathe different air, right? There's just something about them. Like the horse knows they're special, right? And you could tell that about that filly. She knew she was like something special, and so it was just really cool to be a part of that experience.
I'm getting news. I'm not just texting everyone. I'm getting news from the set that we're going to be able to end the show with the race. I think we can play the race so that everybody watching can see how that plays out. But in the meantime, I think you may have some announcements for us or some news about Memorized.
Right, so the dam Memories Prevail. We've got her on the farm, and John knows a lot about her produce. I guess, so her yearling this year is by Mage, and he's an absolute belter. He's a lovely horse. He stands out on the farm. She's currently carrying an upstart. So, the Zandon Bluegrass winner. It was actually my first weekend at Keeneland was Zandon's winning the Bluegrass. And he was so incredible.
That was a good one.
To see him off the farm eventually, working for Pedigree. So she's carrying upstart, and I know that Brett Jones, he sort of pencils these mares and what they're going to go to, so this could change, but I believe she's going to upstart again to, recreate that magical cross that produced Zandon. So.
We're hearing a lot of crosses, Rachel.
Yeah. And what a great place to work there at Airdrie. I mean, that farm in the family, it's been in the family for generations. Yep. It goes all the way back to the story of Lexington, the Stallion.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of history on that Woodburn farm.
And so
the Alexander family, and
it's amazing. And I mean, I think our farm and a lot of the farms around there were a part of that farm back at that time. So if you read the book Lexington, and when they talk about Airdrie, they talk about the farm extending into Elkhorn Creek. Mm-hmm. And so if you keep extending the farm, you run in our farm. right?
Yes,
so
yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
so Woodford Stud, right? Is that Wood? Was it Woodburn Stud? What was
Woodburn, yeah, Woodburn Farmers,
Stud. Woodburn
absolutely.
Stud, yeah. And that was and there's our baby there. That's out of that memorized horse cross as well. See, there you go, cross.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
We're gonna get drunk.
But anyway, I mean, it's just
Friday night.
and again,
Lit. Yeah,
and again,
we gotta send it. We hope that you're drinking at home with every cross
Yeah, you better been
reference
playing
too,
in
Yeah.
please.
And Brett's another one of those guys that has been very, good friend to us in the industry, and his, him and his
He's
wife's
great.
family both have been, in the, horse industry all the way back, to that, kind of Lexington lineage. And his dad was such a, he was the governor, but he was also like such a prolific breeder, and he just loved the horse industry, and so much
Really
of the
champion racing in Kentucky as well.
absolutely all the benefits that we see today
Absolutely.
are a lot because of his efforts.
His legacy, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's amazing.
So I know that there's a lot of history on the farm. Was the plan in coming here always to go to Airdrie based off of some of that history, or how did you find your way in with Brett?
A couple of years ago, I did the Godolphin Flying Start, and as part of that, you do placements on farms. And Airdrie Stud happened to be, one of the places that I spent, I think, a month of working the mornings there. Met Brett, met Ben, the general manager, he's Australian, so some little
You
bit
had that
southern
in.
flavour. So as I was coming to the end of the course, I just approached them and said, I'd love to come back to America. I remember the day I left, the 6 months that we'd spent on the course here in Kentucky, I was like, I need to come back here. So they were the first, the first farm that popped in my head that I really wanted to work for, and it's been 3 years this year. We'll be coming up.
And the Flying Start program and what it's done for the industry is just amazing.
It's such an exceptional course. You go to 6 different countries with 12 other trainees that 12 trainees that you spend the whole time with them. You get to, foot in the door of so many great places. The best. They really show you the best parts of every jurisdiction you go to, and it's such a fantastic course to be on.
It's just again, you have someone like Sheikh Mohammed who loves the sport, and unfortunately he's so busy he doesn't get to attend a lot of things. He did attend Tattersalls this year, but he doesn't get to attend a lot of the things. But he loves the sport so much that and Godolphin has had so much success. We had the Eclipse Awards, and I went up to the Godolphin people. I was like, "Thank you for letting me host your awards this year," and because they just do so phenomenal everywhere. But he invested so much money, but it wasn't selfish like this Flying Start program. How much did it cost you to benefit in that? Nothing, right?
No, it's all through his patronage, and
2 full years.
Yeah,
2 full years, 6 different countries, and
look at the
do a
people
lot of
in the
study.
industry that are
Absolutely,
Francis Graffard was one of the first classes.
It's been going for just over
Rachel,
20 years now.
Almost. She was almost.
Yeah, I was going to say, hey, final round rejects. We're doing okay, too. I scored low in numerical reasoning in the aptitude test, but, I'm sure that they still talk about how fire my presentation skills
They make
were.
it like a running
that
start
got
program like for people that can't make the Flying Start.
Yeah, running start.
Yeah.
No, really. But even just going through that,
You
it
get to
can
go
kind
to
of
6 farms
invigorate you.
in the Lexington area.
No, so I gave myself, a course and an education, and that, again, I think that there's so many opportunities and avenues, and that's obviously the pinnacle of.
It was a great experience.
And I
I'd
think-
recommend it to anyone.
And then all the farms that participate, too.
Oh, hugely. Trainers, and it's not just farms and trainers. There's so many different avenues in the industry, marketing or whatever you want to get into. It just showcases the opportunities in racing, and that's kind of the whole idea.
But it's a
the
shout
course.
out, though, that Sheikh Mohammed and his vision and the Godolphin leadership team to put that, they win $20 million a year over here, and they win $20 million a year, but they put that money back into the sport. And when you think about how large their operation is, their purse winnings do nothing to put a dent into like what they actually put in to the industry. When you think about the number of horses they're breeding and all the programs and everything that they're doing and all the sponsorships, and that's one of the things that encouraged me to get in and start sponsoring races and doing things. There's people that like, why are you sponsoring races? And I just want to be a part of the industry.
And the professionalism as well at every level in that organisation is they set the example. Whether it's
100%.
charitable trusts or their stables or farms, something everyone should aspire to.
Yeah, and there's probably so many programs that Godolphin alone has that we could sit here and have a whole show and just talk about all the things that they do for the industry. It's amazing.
Point out, we're talking about like reinvesting back into the industry, and I know you have an event coming up to do just that, the Poker for Ponies. We talked about it
3rd annual.
early on in the stream, but I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a idea that we had, and again, I'm a kind of a take action kind of person and just do things. So the first year, I think we raised $100,000 for Aftercare, and what we do is we work with the TAA. We look for registered Aftercare programs. We select those programs, and then we try to recruit a player for every one of the farms that are taking care of Aftercare, and then everybody gets a certain amount of money. I think every farm that was chosen got at least $5,000 this last year, and then it based on the winner you get more, right? And so then it scales down, operating scale, and this $100,000 for Aftercare, and so we're going to try to make it bigger this year, and try to. And it's a lot of fun. A lot of the farms participate. They'll buy a seat or something like that. And again, that's why you want to be a participant. You sponsor races at Keeneland, and they buy seats in your poker tournament, and again, it's an event like this where everybody can come together, and then all the money, 100% of the proceeds, we don't use any of it for the event. We cover all the costs of the event. 100% of all the donations are going directly to the Aftercare programs.
That's amazing, and if you want to get involved or learn more, you can scan the QR code on the screen to learn more about it.
Yeah, we'd love to have more players. So, and we have a scaling program, so you can, if you can't afford the whole buy-in, you can still play, and whatever you can donate is absolutely fine. You don't happen to have any poker skills, do you?
No, my poker face is terrible. Non-existent. Non-existent.
Brett did play. I think he's played the last couple of years.
Oh,
so.
yeah?
Yeah.
How
Maybe I need some tips.
Y'all should cover that. Yeah, y'all did last year, right?
Well, we're talking about doing it this year. I think we're planning to come.
Yep, that's Sarah, my daughter. That's her call.
Yeah. We definitely would love to come and shine some light on that, because it is a really cool thing and something people don't know about.
I'd like to get some poker pros to come.
See that? No, here's what I think. I was thinking about this earlier. I think this Bobby Flay showdown
I think so,
might need to happen at the poker table.
Oh, I would love to do it at the poker table.
I'm just saying,
Let's go,
Bobby. Come on.
Come on. Oh, there's no way he can play poker.
So what you missed
No
is John wants to challenge Bobby Flay to a beat Bobby Flay real cook-off.
Yeah.
Actual cook-off.
Wow.
With the prize being
Us getting we both own 50% of a Justified colt out of Pizza Bianca, and he wants to sell it, and I want to race it. So I told him, let's settle it in the kitchen. I'll go on his course. Let's do it.
There you go. That's a pretty good challenge.
There we go. Are you a cook?
I go all right.
Yeah.
I
What's
wouldn't challenge Bobby
your
Flay.
best dish?
I do a good butter chicken my own way.
Ooh.
Is that Indian?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's
I
bold
love
there.
a good-
Yeah. Medium spice. Can't handle it too much, but enough.
I'm excited. I'm traveling tomorrow to Saudi Arabia, and I'm never been to the Middle East. I'm excited for cuisine. I don't really know what to expect, but I can't wait.
Just try everything.
Exactly.
And just go with it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Ask questions later.
No, don't ask
Yeah.
questions. Just try everything.
Just try. Hope for the best.
That's
It'll
what I
be
did when I first
fine.
went to Japan. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, "What is it?" I'm like, "Don't worry, just eat
Just
it.
eat it. Just
It'll
eat
be
it.
They're eating it. They're alive.
They know
Just
what
eat
they're
it,
doing.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, Charlie, we so appreciate you being on here with us.
Thank you
and,
very much.
We're excited that you're here at a Kentuckian
Yeah.
now.
Absolutely, and we appreciate the support.
Another young
Racing.
person. You single?
Yes.
Ladies, look at this guy. Look at this, ladies out there.
John's selling shares.
Yeah, and look, I mean, hey, you guys,
He's
look at these guys.
He's blushing over
Look
here.
at these guys. He's got that.
Charlie's
He's got
books
that
are
New
open.
Zealand. He's got the
Okay.
New Zealand accent. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Come on, girls. You can get that
spend more
Southern
time with
accent
John Stewart.
anywhere. Come on.
This is actually a disguised dating show.
My gosh.
I've been saying
This is
that
what I signed up for.
that should exist for years. Now, I am a huge fan of reality TV, and a lot of it tends to be, you know,
it is
either
a dating
Real
show. We've
Housewives
been
or
talking
dating
about
shows.
these matings.
Yeah, who's going who?
Yeah, no,
Who's
this is a
getting with
dating
who?
show. But
I tell
in
everybody all the
racing-
time that I run a home for women who made one bad decision one day, and now they're single moms. Like
Yeah.
I have, that's what I do on the farm.
all the mares. That's a great way
Yeah.
of framing it. I think that
Some
there's
of them
almost
were even forced into it.
well, even I think that some of the mares, since they're such superstars, it is kind of like a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh,
They're
that
all
definitely goes on in the paddock.
divas.
Oh no, that goes on the paddock.
You know, they're
100%.
divas, and then they have babies with nepotism. You know, it all tracks. It
Well,
all
Goodnight
tracks.
Olive, her baby Ollie, they're running around. You know how like they run in the paddocks together, and the mom likes to run. You know, and people like they don't like to race. No, that's why they run around all the time. You know? So they're running around the paddock, and Ollie is like falling behind. So he decides to cut the corner to like try to cut her off, and she kicks him.
Oh.
She's like, no.
She
Yeah,
fierce.
she's
She
like,
fierce. She said,
no. You don't do that. Like, you don't try to cut me off.
Don't
She
play
kicked him.
these games with the queen bee.
Yeah,
You better
no.
not. Okay, speaking of, we've got post time. It's not even 1 minute post.
yeah.
It is post time
Hey.
here.
Look at those Resolute silks down in
we're
Australia.
Going to,
Charlie, before we let you leave, I mean, you can stay and hang out and watch the race. I mean, do you have any selections? Do you have any insights to
Those
this
are the
track?
good silks right there.
Yeah, thank you.
number 6, right?
So Charlie, what are you looking for in a lady?
Let's talk about race 3.
You want
we
some-
can talk about that. Maybe we're not
looking for somebody. You're looking
No,
for somebody.
everything that you can say about this race is now going to be an innuendo.
Just, you know,
Your
a strong-looking
ideal lady needs
individual,
someone
you know,
that's
a bit
in
of
the horse
class,
industry.
bit of type. You know,
In the
that-
horse industry or out of the horse industry? Do you care? Doesn't matter.
John.
What he's
look at
looking
this.
for is
Yeah.
maybe, you know, I'm seeing some of these horses, they've got like a little nervous poop before they enter the gate.
That's a good sign.
Are you down with the
gotta get a little-
IBS girlies,
Look,
Charlie?
if you're not nervous, you know, you're not into it enough. You're right.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if you're not nervous.
I mean, what do you
like that?
What do you think a marathoner does when he's running a marathon? He doesn't stop to go to the bathroom.
oh my God, I never thought about that. That's
Right?
disturbing deeply.
No, it's true.
I don't know if I would be okay with a nervous pooper.
Really?
Well, like on a date? Wait, I've been on a date with one of those. I didn't like it.
I was going to say, I know for a fact you went on a date with somebody.
Oh God.
Let's not call him
oh
out.
God.
on the show.
Cross.
No,
Cross.
no,
Cross.
they-
Cross.
yeah, Cross.
His
Drink,
last name was
drink,
Cross.
drink.
So let's get
okay.
back into Charlie's personal life here.
Or this
Post time, race 3.
or this 6 horse. So, John,
Yep.
do you bet when your horses are international?
Oh yeah, I tried to. Yeah.
Did you bet here?
I have not.
Do you need to get your phone out right now and bet?
I don't know if I can. Is FanDuel gonna like pick this up? You know, there was a time when FanDuel would only let me deposit like $500 in my account at a time. It was like kind of crazy.
Okay,
like
so
small
I'm getting notes. I'm getting notes, filling us in the context here. She's the number 6 in the race. She's 6-1. No, now 4-1, 7-2, 3.5-1. Okay, and for the sports bettors out there, that's plus 350. So pretty, not the favorite. The favorite looks like it's the 5, but still a favored horse in the race. There's 11 horses in here? No, 13. I can't count. It's the bourbon.
They have big
13.
fields internationally. That's what
Too many
A
crosses.
few
No, there's a couple
scratches,
scratches.
but
There are
a few
11.
scratches.
Yeah. Okay, well, they're in the gate. Good luck, John. Good luck, Resolute team. It's exciting. Dan, the man behind the scenes, let's put the audio up for the race if we can.
And they're racing. Lady Moscato, she jumped sharp today, and she's right up on the firing line from Savage. Look underneath, and Agrarian Girl whipping up. Spicy Miss goes to 4. Satin Summer comes across for some cover. 2 for the back to Thread's position on the rails. Haldea
she's out
Keen out
front.
wide. In advance of Essay, then Nomadic. And Campione d'Italia is keen and in a very wide position at the rear. Agrarian Girl held out Lady Moscato for the front. Spicy Miss right on the back of the speed. Inside Savage Look held diva, yoked out with Satin Summer. Essay to the outside along with Campion Natalia. Coming up the rise, Lady Moscato moved up on the outside of Aquarian Girl. Spicy missed the inside.
Come on, girl.
2 further back to Satin Summer. Then Savage Look threads it on the hunt. Aquarian Girl's getting a lot of cheek in the lead, but Spicy Miss is trying hard on the inside. Aquarian Girl from Spicy Miss. Aquarian Girl's clinging on. Aquarian Girl won the Lonro plate. Fending off Spicy Miss. Savage Look third. Lady Moscato fourth. Further back the threads, then Satin Summer. Further back.
That's good. It's only second race.
Yeah.
Go out in front like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fair.
Yeah.
4th place.
Yeah. Chelsea, do you
Thank
need
you.
to duck in and give your assessment, or do you trust John's recap
Well, hold
of the
on,
race?
ladies. We have another single man over there. Jake. Jake, come on
Hey.
over here, Jake.
Jake Memelo, who, by the way, has won a county, was that a county fair legs contest?
County fair legs.
Hey,
Yeah.
hold on. Jake,
Wait,
you
Jake,
got to
we
sing
need
your
to see
song.
these legs.
Jake, sing your song. We should end the episode with Jake singing.
Okay.
He does
The
the
one-
best karaoke.
You're
Jake.
like, how did I get roped into
Jake,
this?
come on.
Jake, we need your
Jake,
karaoke
come on.
and your
I'm here for
legs. Come on.
Come on. You sang it at a
Come on,
wedding.
come on,
Come on.
come
Come on, Jake. He'll do it.
Oh, we got him. We got him. Here, come on, come around front. Or this way. All right, this is
ladies.
the best finale.
Ladies, this is Jake Memelo, who is Resolute Racing's a man about town because he checks all of our horses for us.
So can we see the
Yeah.
the calf muscle? Like what won the leg?
No, it's
Wait,
the
was
singing.
it a win or was it a...
Look, at the end of the day, it was the second place finish in the
Okay, second place.
Woodford County Fair Sexiest Legs competition. Look, well, it was a nice little trophy that had an outhouse on it, but
Wow.
it should have paid more than it did because I didn't give that show for free.
Yeah, no, he could have blown out an ACL. This video, I think, did it go like viral?
Semi-viral, yeah. I think I have a few friends to thank for that. A couple people.
Story about Jake that has a sexual theme to it.
Oh, God. Okay.
This is a live stream, not safe for work. X-rated.
Tell the story about the shrimp.
No. John.
I think that's where the live stream ends, actually. I don't know that there's
Tell the
nothing
story.
to do with the
Tell it
shrimp.
right now.
There's just some good seafood in Saratoga, and that's all I got to say about that.
There we go.
What's that?
Maybe
Oh,
just a couple
which
bars,
one?
So maybe give the context of where you sang this, what it was
okay,
for.
yeah. So no problem. I was a local star at a bar called Rose and Jim's. It's a little dive bar. It's cash only, and they had karaoke nights every Friday. And whenever I'd walk into the bar, the DJ would say, "Now walking in is the reason you've all paid $5 coming to this place tonight. It's Jake Memelo."
Oh.
And look, I mean, I'm not saying I'm basically Steven Tyler, but like,
The
basically Steven
comparison's
Tyler.
been made.
Let's see it.
I mean, so you're just putting me on the spot here.
Yeah,
Do it. Is there like an instrumental version
mean-
that I could pull up? Like, Dan, am I going to get in trouble for the music
I could.
licensing?
Yeah, we might have some copyright infringement here, and plus, I don't want Steven Tyler to sue me, so I'm too good.
We're getting it.
We're just gonna go with the instrumental version, or I could just pop off with a few bars.
Do that.
No, we got the sound. It's coming.
I could stay awake just to hear you breathing.
Rachel's face says it all.
Watch you smile while you are sleeping, while you're far away and dreaming. I could spend my life in this sweet surrender. I could stay lost in this moment forever. 'Cause every moment spent with you is a moment I treasure. I don't wanna close my eyes. I don't wanna fall asleep 'cause I'd miss you, babe. And I don't wanna miss a thing 'cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream would never do. I'd still miss you, babe. and I don't want to miss a thing. All right, that's too much. That's too much.
Ladies and gentlemen, sponsored by Elite Racing.
You're too kind.
Insane.
Well
All
done.
right,
Too kind.
sexiest legs, second place sexiest legs in Woodford County, and
You got that right.
Number one
star.
Steven Tyler impersonator in Lexington, Kentucky.
I would actually say that Steven Tyler is a Jake Memolo impersonator. So, mic drop.
There you go, you heard it here. All right, mic drop. All right, well, I think there's no better way to wrap this show up at this point. Thank you so much for joining us. We've had an absolute blast. We hope you've had fun. We hope you've learned some things, and we hope you tune in with us for the next time. Thank you so much, everybody. We will catch you on the next show.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you.